The All-Star game was great. We had 3 gold medalists with the Mercury. We more than doubled our win total, went up to 19 wins, played in the playoffs. Now we're getting ready for the next season. So we're really proud of the summer with the Mercury. And then with the Suns, I thought it was an amazing summer. So, last time I talked to you guys after the season, obviously we were all disappointed with how the season ended. I think we had an amazing summer. A bunch of different things we can talk about. Let's first start about 2 of our superstars being not only gold medalists, but also key parts of the gold medal team. The stars out there doing some amazing things. Devin and Kevin were both awesome. I got a chance to go over there and watch them along with the women play the last couple games over there, which was really great. And so that's a real great symbol of the Suns, and seeing 2 of our superstars bring home the gold for our country was really cool, really a special moment for all of us. So having 5 Olympians here in Phoenix was really special. So that was great, seeing those guys do great things. Obviously, on top of that, Coach Bud. So we got a great coach. We feel great about Coach Bud. He's been amazing. I know he did a press conference already. You guys been part and heard him talk, but he's been, we have really high expectations for him and what he's going to accomplish here. And
what's going on,
to be honest with you, he's exceeded those so far. And
you look decent.
We haven't started yet, but we still have a lot of things to do. But everything he's been doing,
we look decent. Look at that, bro. I'm looking at the camera. We look clean
with Mike and Coach Bud. Easily call him that.
It's not too bad. We'll get my green screen lit up, but hey, we looking clean up here, bro.
Part and doing great things. So love having him. I think this is gonna be a big difference the way he plays. I know he'll be up here later. He'll talk about basketball stuff with you more. But once again, that's a big part of our summer. The other big part of the summer to remember is, part of our strategy.
Sundo got a green screen. That's right, he did.
Does an amazing job about,
shout out to Gabe.
Grayson was in last year, but Grayson, Royce, Josh, Bull, Damian, Lee, all these guys coming back, wanting to be back. Those are the guys we wanted to bring back. They wanted to come back. We brought them back, and they understand what we're about here. So that was really important to us. And then obviously going out getting 3 great free agents.
But anyway, we'll get my green screen looking better. We'll get the lights looking better.
As well. And these guys had options elsewhere.
I'm just
most
listening
time
to
they
your
probably had
boy.
options making more money elsewhere.
I am too, but he ain't saying a whole lot of anything I care about right now.
The city of Phoenix, our fans, they talked to me about that when we were talking to those guys, and our players and our coach, right? Like, they want to be here. And so that was a big thing. We really loved the team. And then obviously the draft, was spectacular.
Draft was spectacular.
Getting those 2 guys that we coveted those 2 guys, and then we got some draft capital as well.
What up,
ESPX? Overall,
ESPX.
I think it's been a great summer.
If there's one thing that we did do well,
it
was the draft, and you can fight, and anybody can fight me on that.
Very similar to last
year. I know how some people feel the draft. I know how some people feel about Ryan Dunn,
but the year we wanted, we're ready. We're ready to compete at the highest level this year, and so that's what Bud's about. That's what James and Josh and me and our whole
Ivy,
organization,
I'm just
tired. We're
bro.
about competing
Cut
at the highest level, and we're going to put forth
Gabe's
that effort.
tired because he went to bed at 6 in the morning. Okay, so he literally only got
when I bought the team,
5 hours of sleep probably.
Still, it was just 18 months ago, February of
I'm about to go lock my
it talked about
wife's
the 4
dog in a
pillars about
crate
building a
real
great
quick.
culture,
She will not shut
fan
up.
experience, community, and winning. And all 4 of those things. I mean, you can talk about the TV. This is our 2nd year being on TV for everybody, and I see other NBA teams are starting to follow. And we're trying to be
sir. How's everybody doing?
The best organization in sports. And I think we're on our way. You can't be the best organization in sports without winning.
Hope y'all feeling good.
Championships.
I'm excited to watch this media day. That's boring. I'm joking. It's not boring, but
hold our team accountable to that, and that's great. But we are going to compete and get better every day, and hopefully you guys will.
Jones will be a game changer for y'all. I agree that Tyus Jones will be a game changer. I also think that.
I'll pause and turn over some questions. Anyone have?
I potentially think you put him in the lineup and you tell Beal to come off the bench. That's just me. Or if you want to go play KD at the 4 with him on the court, you could do that too. But I would prefer to not do that. But hey,
what would you like to get fixed heading into
whatever? You can go Jones, Beal, Booker, KD, and Nurk, and I think that would be a solid starting lineup
to succeed at a higher level than we did last year. Last year we won 49 games.
What do you think, Gabe?
For winning games during the regular season.
I'm going to just go witness relocation real quick.
I think the word compete, which you'll hear us talk about a lot today, is something that I don't think we did at the highest level last year.
Going to witness what?
And going at it at the level that we
How
want to be.
blurry my camera is.
Yeah, you definitely got yourself blurred out.
I think that was a big thing. We made a change at coach, as you guys know. We got a coach that I think is I think our past coach was a great guy and a great coach. This coach is, I think, the best fit for us. And so that was.
He said the last coach is a great guy.
Signing our players was a huge thing.
But this coach is the best fit for us.
We like our team.
Shots fired at your boy Frank Vogel.
A lot of people love our team, and you're starting to see other teams start to make adjustments. And I think we're all in. We believe in our team. We believe we have an ability to compete at the highest level.
We're all in. You don't have a choice but to believe in your team.
Another year of continuity, get everyone healthy going into the season. Get a coach that we felt like was going to be leading our organization, and I think we executed on all of it. Thank you.
Hey, Matt. Gerald Bourguet.
Gerald Bourguet.
It's good to see you. I wanted to ask, I know you're probably sick of asking or answering questions about this, the second tax apron, but when you look around the league, you've seen a lot of other teams make moves to kind of duck that or get beneath that. You guys have had a very different approach to that. I just wanted to get kind of your philosophy on that and how, you feel that you're going to be vindicated with that particular approach to the tax apron.
Yeah, so the second apron is obviously a very hot topic in the NBA these days, and there's two parts to it. There's second apron and the restrictions of building a team that people like to talk about, and then there's the significantly higher tax luxury taxes.
I'm gonna sit back and relax.
And
How about that?
Luxury taxes, if you're in the tax,
I'm gonna sit back and relax.
Other teams that you get. So there's a lot of things that other owners and other people are thinking about. For us, we're about winning. And so I don't think, I walk around Phoenix, I spend time in Scottsdale, Phoenix, all these, no one's come up to me and been like, hey, I really hope you lower your tax bill, Just doesn't come up. It's been weird, Nobody cares, and they shouldn't care, because the luxury tax is not anyone else's job. It's my decision and my job to deal with it. And so we want to put the best team out there. We are not going to spend money frivolously, but if we can compete to win a championship, we are going to do that, and we're going to go all in with that. In the second apron, are there restrictions? Absolutely. I understand them inside and out. James does an amazing job. Josh, they know from the tax, and we're not shying away from either. And how am I going to be vindicated? Well, there's only one way to say we had a lot of success, and that's win a championship. And we're
championship or bust. Championship or bust for your Phoenix Suns, people. You heard it there first. The only way he will be vindicated is by getting
in the second
Larry
apron,
O'Brien trophy.
The truth is, we're going to have to deal with that stuff, and we're going to deal with the new rules and how we already have to deal with the way we trade players. And
what does that mean, Gabe? Everybody need to stop saying, well, if we make the Western Conference Finals, like I said, so I'm calling myself out here. If we make the Western Conference Finals, I'll be okay. Nope. Finals or bust. Championship or bust. You heard it from the head honcho himself.
Yes, Dwayne Rankin, Arizona Republic. Good to see you, Matt.
How are you?
All right. Couple things. One, where are you guys at with Durant and his extension?
So
Durant extension?
I think it came up this summer talking about all these things. Everyone talks about Kevin. Kevin Durant loves it here. We love Kevin Durant. We talk to him and his agent, Rich Kleiman, all the time.
If you're talking, Gabe, I can't hear you.
There's different restrictions, but we don't really go through contract extensions publicly. But I'll tell you this, Kevin loves it. We love Kevin.
I was just saying he's available for a
and nothing's changing with that.
Okay.
contract
Just a quick
extension.
follow. I know that obviously Friday, the lady, Andrea Tristian, had a press conference out here talking about the organization, and I know obviously.
Poison Ivy says, so how many minutes do you give at opening day for me to flip out during the game? I don't know.
First,
I think we already made comments.
time that we go down
about the Suns,
by 1 point.
I think you saw our statement about it, and I think we all understand what that one's about. So we'll just focus on the Suns today, but I appreciate it. I can always answer other questions separately.
Kellen?
Go ahead.
Matt, Kellen Olson, Arizona Sports. Good to see you. I wanted to get your just a look at your process in July in regards to Tyus and signing.
Ooh, I want to hear this.
What were your guys' initial conversations like with him, and then at what point in the month did you realize you had a real shot at signing him despite the pay cut he had to take?
Yeah, so Tyus is a great guy, point guard, leader, winner. His wife went to Michigan State, so we had a little connection there. So we used a little recruiting there. But his wife, his kids, we're talking about Phoenix as a great city, a great environment, family environment. I understand it's gonna be really tough for someone to take less money to come play for an organization, but an opportunity. He got a chance to talk to Coach Bud. He talked to Kevin and Devin and Brad and not only Grayson and all these guys. He knew Grayson from college, obviously. All these guys know what we're about here, and they were able to communicate that. So I think it was a team effort in recruiting him. Josh, James, Bud. Hopefully hopefully I didn't mess it up. We all did together to make it great. And the truth is, I think it's going to be a great opportunity for Tyus to not only lead, but be a starter, compete for a championship. And yes, he took less money. But you know what? money is just a number right there until, how happy are you? How happy is your family? There's a lot of pieces to it. And then also it puts him in an opportunity. He's still a free agent after this year, which we'll have to start that recruiting process again, after this year or during the year to try to get him to stay. But the truth is, like, we want what's best for our players. And if he ends up leaving after this year, after we compete at the highest level, we understand that. But recruiting him was a big part of it. When did we think we were going to get him? Like, we didn't think we had a chance, to be honest with you, at the beginning. And so, but spending time with it, that didn't mean we didn't make the calls, didn't mean we didn't spend the time, but, you have a 1% chance of something that grows to 5, 10, 20, 30, and all of a sudden, you're like, we might be in the game here. And, but I'm so impressed with Tyus Jones, the time I got to spend with him and his family. He's a winner, and he won a championship at Duke. He's the kind of guy we want here, we need here. I think he's the best all-time assist-to-turnover ratio in the history of the NBA, which is phenomenal. I think
We haven't talked enough about Tyus Jones on this channel.
Ball and do some great things with Coach Bud. So
We
we're really
haven't,
excited
but
about
that's I like how that process happened where they didn't just give up.
Good to see you.
How are you?
Good.
How they actively recruited him to come to the Suns.
Talk about with Tyus. It's obvious, he took less money to come here, and that says a lot about the culture you guys have developed here. But what does that say about him as a person, where winning is first for him?
Spectacular was good.
Kevin Durant and Devin Booker win the gold medal and play with that level of passion and want to win.
Yeah, so Devin and Kevin wasn't surprising me. I know how much they care about winning a championship, winning gold medal. Like, they're winners. I got a chance to spend a little time with them over there and see
What up, Michael?
what they're about. And that's not surprising to me. I got a chance to spend, a year and a half with both of them really so far since I bought the team basically. And so spent a lot of time with them. That wasn't surprising. Those guys are winners. And they, what they talked about is we want to bring a championship to Phoenix now, right? And so that's for sure there. And Tyus, a lot of people talk about, maybe I'll take a little bit less money. Like, talk about some people in the, taking a couple $1,000s less is a big pay cut in anybody's world, in the real world. And so if someone take millions and millions of dollars less to be part of an organization, it shows that Tyus is, one, a winner. Two, he understands the big opportunity in front of him. And three, it's a kudos to our players.
All right, I'm sorry to cut him off, but I just want to say, I want to put this out there. I'm going to work my hardest not to get fooled by, fancy talk this season, or Kool-Aid talk, we'll call it. And I don't think it's just a situation where Tyus was like, you know what, I could get way more money, but to me, I just want to be in Phoenix and I just want to be a good guy and go play with. It's not that. It's like, it's a nice secondary option to getting a payday. He looked and looked for a payday, couldn't get it. Nothing wrong with that. And then was like, okay, well, I'm not getting the payday. I don't have anywhere to play. Let me go ahead and figure out what my next best option is. Next best option was going to a championship contender on a little bit of money. So, like, all of this, like, the fact that he took less money, come on.
The best franchise in sports, and that means winning, of course, which I know we don't talk about, but also means on the business side being a leader.
That's just me talking.
Sometimes it's, as Gerald talking about the second apron, like, we're gonna do things differently. We're not following everybody else. We're gonna do what we think is best at all times. And sometimes I'm gonna be right, sometimes we're gonna be wrong. But no one will ever question how much we care about the fans, about this organization, about winning, about the culture. Like, no one will ever question that. And the TV deal is a big example of that.
Brendan.
Hey, Matt. Brendan Clean, Locked On.
Your boy,
Podcast.
Brandon Clean.
You mentioned a lot of things you've been able to do. Obviously, getting Kevin right away, the TV deal, summer moves, the coach, and the 4 pillars you reference a lot. I'm just curious.
How come Gabe's not at Suns Media Day?
What's the biggest thing you feel like you've learned as an owner getting to be in this world for almost 2 years now?
I've learned a lot. So first off, the most important thing as an owner is you got to get great people around you. So I get, credit for some stuff. I get, talk bad about some stuff. But the truth is I have a great team. Lucky to have great people around me when you talk about James Jones, Josh Barlstein, Bud now, but also players.
Don't say Isaiah
as
Thomas.
An owner, the biggest thing is, like,
He almost said it.
You have to put your team, just like in any business, put your team and your organization in position to succeed. Like, I'm not trying to be the best player or the best coach or the best GM. I'm trying to be the best owner. My job is to be the best owner in sports, which means give them the resources, build the WNBA Mercury facility, give the fans TV opportunity. Like I'm not watching a player's, jump shot and deciding that's the kind of guy we want. I got James, I got Josh, I got the scouts, I got people that do that stuff. But my job is to give them all the resources. And if they say, hey, meet with Tyus, like, let's talk about the future.
There we
like,
go.
I'd love to jump in and help. Like, and so I learned that it's a team game. Just like in any sport, you can't have one superstar and win. You can't have the best coach and win. You can't have the best player and win. You have to have great players, great coach, great GM, great CEO, great owner, great marketing people, great concession people. Like, we're a team. And so I think I've learned that even more. And so it's all about the team. It's all about the people. And I'm very lucky to have great people here. And I think that's why we're able to compete for a championship on all levels. And that's what our goals are. And we're not going to get there every year like I talked about, but we're going to compete at the highest level.
Doug, last question.
I'm Doug Haller at The Athletic.
Hey, Doug.
You mentioned that Mike has already exceeded expectations. Can you just explain how he has gone about doing that?
Yeah, well, his care factor is off the charts. So, like I just talked about, I have to care. I care at the highest level. I care about when I walk out here. If a fan is wearing a Booker jersey, like, I care about, like, how do we make that special for them? Bud cares about every detail of every aspect. You'll see it in our practice facility. Like, he likes, I want my office here. I want to have this. I want the pictures on the wall. There's no detail.
These are like layup questions, bro.
He's been in the gym. I call him. I'm in Michigan a lot of times, and
Dude.
I'm calling him at 9, 10
Well,
a.m.
I think that was a decent question.
Like, he's ready. Like, he's not.
Because he's saying, like, okay, you mentioned that Bud has already exceeded expectations. What does that mean? Does he have the jerseys extra clean before practice? What does that mean? You know? Are you saying the players don't hate him viscerally the way that they did?
No, that's a good point.
What does that mean?
Facts, dude. That's a good point.
I thought he would be, and then some. He set expectations. He's executed.
I'll give you that
everything we wanted, and then some. And so he's been a great fit. And I'm excited for you guys to see him through this season and beyond.
Thanks, Matt.
Great. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
He's done. He said, thanks. I'm out of here. Y'all asking me these layup questions. You're asking me these layup questions, okay?
I'm sure it'll be, what, James Jones next? Who's this? Do we even care? Do we even care?
Just the new
Mark McClung.
the new president?
Hey, Josh, Mark McClung, Arizona State Sports. Good to see you. As you approach the offseason, what was the
Does anyone care? Can you guys tell us in the chat if anyone cares about who this guy and his fake toupee is?
You don't like Josh Bartenstein?
I mean,
great core, obviously.
give him a listen.
Or Kevin Book and Brad and Nurk back and Grayson.
We need Sundon Gabe there next year. Yeah, but then you wouldn't have us with you here. So you pick your spots, Diego. It would be cool to be there, though. It'd be cool to hang out and
obviously, we just talked a ton about Tyus.
Be there, but that requires
it's kind of going in kind of
us to grow immensely.
All year, right? Our scouts spend all year on the road talking about college.
We need more than just you cucks watching.
This guy was, but no, I do reckon this was the guy that was on the phone. Did you watch those draft videos that they put out?
Hey, Josh, Gerald Borg, Sports. Good to see you.
So this was the guy that was on the phone during all the trades and stuff. Whenever, if you go back and watch those videos where it's like, he's like, Nuggets are offering this and that, and they're going taking all the offers that they were getting back and forth, and he was the guy leading the charge on the phone.
How much does that continuity kind of situate you?
So like during the second one, he was like,
they've never put him on camera before. Am I right?
No, he was on camera during those.
Continuity matters. They know each other.
He was the one on the phone when they were making all the deals. Go back and watch those draft behind the scenes videos.
What up, Vision? What up, BBL Roy?
Being here now and not just coming in.
Hey, Roy, what's good?
So we feel like we had a core that stayed intact, that played together, that had success, and then adding those new guys around them, I think will make it better. And they've been working.
Talk about nothing answers and nothing.
This. Hey, speaking of Roy, this guy looks like light skinned Roy.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
This guy looks like light skinned Roy, bro.
Damn.
He's no longer President Josh Bartenstein. He is now President Light Skin Roy.
All right. So, what do you want to talk about? Well, Bartelstein.
Well, I mean, he's talking about the plans, right?
I ain't gonna tell you guys what kind of person Josh Bartelstein is. I ain't gonna say it.
No, so I mean,
Jewish.
Ishbia gave us a little bit of insight into like the off season, what happened during the off season, how I think what I took from that is he was trying to establish a culture throughout the whole organization that would make players want to come here and also make them comfortable. And I do like that. Remember when I did that video about Matt Ishbia?
Remember when you were like, I'm going to start making solo videos for this channel. I can't wait. And you were like, let me do a video about something that happened 8 years ago. That'll be my first one. And I go, well, and you go, well, that's a hurtful noise. What does that mean? And I said, it means well.
Anyway, it don't matter. We all know that I am the deep thinker of this channel. Okay, I just don't see money sign and the cool titles and put them on there. Right? I'm the deep thinker. If we suffer, well, no, I'm just kidding. But no, like in that video, like I said, he wanted to establish a culture. He's really big on that. And so that was what you learned from Matt Ishbia. This is what we're trying to do to establish not just a championship, winning culture, but a culture that's positive. It makes people want to work here and be here. And he talked about that. So I wish we could have gotten more conversation about roster construction from him, but maybe we're going to get more from this guy as
from Bud.
Tune him out. Right, or Bud.
I think we would get more from Bud.
Or their ideas. Like, I would wish there was more questions of like, hey, Tyus. He got a question about Tyus Jones, right? Which is cool. How did Tyus Jones get here? You gave me that, but it's like, how did you manage to keep Bol? What's the thought on that? What's the thought on keeping Bol? What's the
maybe
thought
the last
on,
Bol, like specifically? What was your negotiations like? Did you ever think about leaving?
James Jones hasn't talked yet. Vision. No, so maybe we'll get more from James Jones and Bud when they get those questions. It's like
we're not going to keep it muted. It's just let's give you guys a little Bartlestein sample here, okay? You guys,
another one of those.
Tell us what you think here.
Brandon.
Hey Josh, you talked
Brandon
about
Clean?
continuity
Maybe?
earlier.
No,
and the
Brandon?
importance of that. You guys did lose a member of the team who's been here for over 30 years, with Ralph this year, moving to a competitor. Can you talk about maybe how that impacts maybe
they're talking about organizational stuff still.
The GM of the Arena League?
Yeah.
I mean,
amazing career, and we wish him all the best.
Yeah. See, that's why we've got it muted. But as soon as somebody of importance, someone
learning stuff about the organization
is
talking. I mean, it's not even that. It's just like learning stuff about the organization is cool, but like as far as we go, like we're concerned with results on the court. So I want to hear the process of, hey, why did we go after Monte Morris? Was Monte Morris, hey, this is the guy that we're going to get because we're not getting Tyus Jones, but then all of a sudden Tyus Jones drops into your lap type of deal. You know what I mean? Which means that's a best of both worlds scenario.
It is.
Right?
That's exactly what happened, bro. I mean, let's be completely honest.
And so
they got Monte Morris because he was the best they could get at the time. And that's great. That's all you can do is do the best you can. But then it started to become apparent what happened to Kelly Oubre last season was now happening to Tyus Jones. And it was like, holy cow. With Monte, I don't think they ever planned to have Monte start, ever. That was probably not even in consideration.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not.
But now they're like, holy cow. And that's the big point of this whole news with Tyus. It's not that we got him to me necessarily. It's not that the money, it's none of that. It's we're starting him, dude. That's the freaking story. Our starting, he deserves a start. I love it. I absolutely. Grayson Allen is going to be coming off the bench Sunday.
Grayson Allen's going to come off the bench, and potentially, if they really want to, Beal could come off the bench. Like,
not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. I'm just saying potentially.
I don't hate it. I don't hate that.
Look, I don't care either way. Like, as long as he's not the point guard, you know what I mean? Because I think that was really a big issue, was you were forcing guys who aren't traditional point guards to be the point guard last year. And so now that he won't be the point guard, he won't be a main ball handler, neither will Book, neither will KD. You'll have a guy doing that. I like that much more this season than our options last season. Yeah, but then you got Royce O'Neal off the bench. You got freaking Grayson off the bench. Plumlee, Bol.
Yeah.
And I know I'm forgetting many more because I know that our depth is actually kind of crazy this year.
Royce.
I already said Royce.
Okay, Royce.
I said Royce, Grayson, Bol, Plumlee.
Probably Monte Morris.
Monte Morris.
Going to be the starting point guard.
We haven't even gotten to – man, let me look this up. I had this memorized, and now I don't.
It's a pretty good roster, man. It's a pretty good roster.
Okay, he's done talking, so who's next?
All right. Get out of here, Bartelstein. I don't want you around. Win us something. Is that your boy J.D. Vance back there?
Oh, I forgot we got Colin Gillespie, your boy wonder.
Ooh, James Jones.
James Jones, here we go.
Mark,
Hello,
it's your
everyone.
day today.
Hey, James. Mark McClune, Arizona's Family Sports. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, as you approach this season, what sort of course are you hoping to charter here for the team based on the decisions you made this summer?
I think the big thing for us this season is enjoying the journey to competing for a championship.
I will answer your question in a minute,
I thought
Vision.
last year we had some really good moments, and there were too many moments where we didn't really enjoy the grind of competing for a championship. And so the changes we made this summer allowed us to continue to build that, continue with that momentum that we built by bringing back some of our free agents, going and finding a coach that I think fits our trajectory and where we want to go in the short term and the long term. And Bud has been really, really energizing for the group. And so I'm just really excited to get started tomorrow because I think this team really has a chance.
Hey, James, Gerald Bourget, PHNX Sports. Good to see you.
You too. How you doing?
Good. I know we've talked a lot about the point guard thing, the pros and cons of that situation. You guys were able to get Monte Morris and then Tyus Jones after that. Now that you do have two more traditional point guards, what kind of stands out as the pros and potential cons of that?
I think those two guys, Tyus and Monte, I think Matt talked about it earlier, historically good as far as taking care of the ball and leading their teams. I think what it'll do is give our guys a little comfort and a little more trust in the offense and the ball movement. We want to shoot more threes. We want the ball to pop. We want the ball to move. And as long as those guys are somewhat the conduit in between, I think whichever decision they make, will be an optimal decision, and I know everyone will respect it. And so those are some of the challenges you have when you don't have a traditional point guard. But at the same time, they're not the traditional point guards. They're exceptional in the sense that they can make shots, extremely efficient with the ball. And so the combination of skills, the skill set that the two of them possess, is unique. And uniquely for our team, it's going to make us special.
It's Dwayne Rankin, Arizona Republic. How are you, sir?
Hey, Dwayne, how you doing?
All right.
Bro,
nice
Tyus
time.
can really
Thank you,
shoot the
appreciate
three,
you too.
by the way.
No.
Way better than what CP3
real
was
quick,
doing
just
for
a couple
us.
things.
Way better.
With
at
Durant
shooting
and
the
obviously
three.
the extension of how much conversation has there been in trying to, A, get that done, and then B, with a three-guard lineup, how do you like that
Somebody's
look of Beal,
iPhone alarm is
Tyus,
going
and
off.
Devin in today's NBA?
Embarrassing.
I mean, well, we love having KD here. We want him here. We'll figure that out.
As he
like
continues
Matt
to talk,
said,
I'm
we
just
don't really
looking.
talk
Who
about
is
that publicly,
Moses
but
Wood?
The thing we do talk about
Some
publicly is like who really wants to be
little
here,
signing we got.
and who's a great fit for
All right,
us.
so I'm just
So
looking at
we
the
love KD.
lineup:
He loves
Grayson,
being here.
Bradley,
But
Beal,
that goes without
Bobo,
saying.
Booker,
And there was a second part of your question.
Ryan Dunn.
Probably
The
Rodney.
three-guard lineup. I look at it
D.
from.
Lee, we forgot about
we always talk
mention
about
D.
how you
Lee.
start.
Josh
You wanna
Okogie's
talk
still
about how
here.
you
Forgot
start.
about
You
that.
definitely want to
Yeah,
talk
dude,
about how
this
you finish.
roster's
But when you
gets
have
pretty
three
deep.
guards out there, what it means is that you have you're dynamic. The other two guys out there, whoever they are, the four,
Rodney
the
Miller
five,
says, "Is James
however
going to
you
get
wanna,
James getting fired if we are in the
categorize them or
play-in?"
classify them.
That's what I was saying, probably.
They're always one pass away from a playmaker, and that's helpful when you're talking about a high-powered offense like us. I talked about it when I said having Monte and Tyus as the conduit or the intermediary between two sides of the floor will give everyone a little more confidence and trust that the right plays will be made. So now we just added another player out there who can make the right plays, make the right shots, make the right decisions, and make us more efficient offensively, which to us is our competitive advantage given that we have three of the best from a guard perspective with Devin and Brad and KD. We have three of the best offensive players in the game.
Hey, James, Brendan Clean, Locked On Suns podcast. Last offseason, you used the phrase mid-prime veteran quite a bit with some of the players that you targeted to round out the roster. What made you lean more toward guys like Mason and Monte and Tyus, who are clearly kind of in their prime veteran players, as opposed to that approach to get that depth around the big three?
Well, we're different this year, and I think every season is different, especially when we talk about leadership. We have an entirely different coaching staff, entirely different strategy for winning. And our team has matured, So a year with Devin and Kevin playing their games, as you saw in the Olympics, it continues to evolve and they complement each other. And every time you have a tweak or a shift in the way the game is played amongst your core players, you have to think about how that impacts your role players, your secondary players, your backline players, your starters that accompany those guys. And so as our team continues to shift, every year our focus will have to be different, given the constraints that we have from a team building perspective. I thought we did a fairly good job retaining our free agents so that we had that continuity, because those guys adjusted their style of play to fit our core guys. And so if we can continue to stack that and build that and grow that, I believe we give ourselves a chance to compete.
James, Richard Sines, Fox 10. Good to see you.
Hey, good to see
you. You talked
Probably
about your
not,
excitement
Ben.
for the season.
I mean,
because you feel
maybe.
this team has a shot. If anybody knows what a championship team looks like, it's you. You've done it 3 times. What is it about this particular group that makes you say this is it?
One, when you go through what we went through last year, the ups and downs, the injury battles, the struggles, the way our season ended last year, you can tell right away in the summer where the guys are about it, if they're really in for that championship fight. And we've had great participation in the gym. Devin and Kevin were playing in Paris. We had the rest of our guys who were here in the gym every single day. Our guys started playing pickup basketball the first week in September, and not like guys normally do when they just come into the gym.
Jason, no, he is not on the roster anymore. He is gonzo.
To get better. And so when you start to see those signs, it gives you confidence, because those are the times they don't have to be here, but they choose to be here, working together and trying to gain a competitive advantage. And so I think this team is different than last year's team, not just because it's 2024, 2025. Is really because the players that are on this team, those that are returning, plus the additions that we've made, truly believe that we're all in. And that's the one thing I talk about this team a lot, is what we always want to be in. We always want to be in the conversation for competing for a championship. We always want to be in the playoffs, and that resonates with our guys.
Kellen Olson, Arizona Sports. James, great to see you. With Brad in his role last year on the team and how you guys at times had him being the point guard, Tyus and Monte come in, how do you expect that to free up Brad and allow him to get back to the player that he's been in the past?
Brad's a player, so I think it'll give him a little more balance where he can get to his natural position as a 2 guard. But it also helps him because the guys that we brought in are phenomenal playing off the ball, so he doesn't have to lose the opportunity to be the prime.
There have been some good questions, bro.
Yeah, there have been. That's what I'm paying. That's what I'm not saying.
But not all of them. I'm sorry. It's just like, what are we doing here? Like, this is what we're doing. This is what we're spending our time asking about. Like, he might as well have just asked. It's just like, same thing with Devin Booker. Hey, Devin Booker had to play point guard last year. How do you think going back to 2 will help him? What do you mean? That's the easiest. I'm just going to unmute here.
Been great. Those guys are shot makers, right? And if the shots that are presented, the shots that are created are threes, they'll take them. And if the shots that are created are mid-range shots, they'll take them as well. For us, it's really just timing, right? Like last year, a lot of our offensive sets got us late in the shot clock.
You don't say.
Where we didn't have the opportunity to collapse the paint, drive, kick it, and get to a second side or back side.
We're hoping we can rebound the ball this year. We're starting
hoping that we don't. We're hoping that we don't hold on to the ball till 10 seconds on the shot clock and then run out ISO.
Tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to shoot the ball and make it go down through the net this season. We really think that's gonna be of key concern.
Yeah, I'll get over to you when I'm done.
Okay. Do you have somewhere to be?
Wondering about how there's been a short history of hometown guys that you've had on the team here, or before you became into your position. Alan Williams, and then also DeAndre Ayton, and then Saban Lee, and now Ty and Oso. So how important is it to have guys who are homegrown on the roster for something for fans to root for?
I mean, that's always a consideration.
Are we really
but I think
asking
it really
that
speaks more
question?
to the quality
Do you pick
of basketball here in
hometown players so the fans will be
Phoenix
happy?
is a basketball city, and there's a lot of talent. If you talk about from a high school perspective, from a college perspective, These guys are really good players as amateurs, and as they come up into the NBA ranks, if there's an opportunity to get a player who's just really good
while
player,
he's answering this
plus has
whack
local
question.
ties, I'm pretty sure it's
Thoughts on
great
the
for
Knicks
fan
Wolves
base,
trade?
but more
I think that's
importantly, it's
good
great
for the Knicks,
players.
although they're going to be in the
There's
second
always a
apron.
little bit more
The
that
Knicks are
you put
basically
out
being like the
when you get a
Knicks
chance to do
basically
it at
are the
home in
Suns
front
of
your
the East
fans,
now
in front
with the
of
way
your
they have
family,
built
for
that
your
roster.
community.
So
A lot of
that's
these guys
whatever.
are
Knicks are
inspired
all
by
in
the game
championship
that
or
they
bust.
watch
So
here,
we'll see how
and
that
they
goes.
want to be that inspiration
For the
their community.
Wolves,
So
I know
it's a
Randall has
win-win
his
for both of
injury
us
issues.
when we're able to find a player, not just
I'm a
because
big
he's from
fan of
Phoenix, but he's from
DiVincenzo.
Phoenix,
I
but
think they just
on top
got
of
a
that,
lot
a
more
really good NBA
annoying,
player.
a lot more physical. And yes, I know
Tyler with the Athletic.
Hey, Doug, how you doing?
they have injury issues, but also the fact that they picked up a Detroit Pistons first-round pick in the trade's also
When he
ridiculous.
came back, there was a lot of concern about his minutes restriction. What's he going to provide? What role does he play? And then he went out and hit his first 8 shots and looked as good as he's ever looked.
Talk about Beal.
What is he talking about?
I'm assuming you watched that. What was your reaction just to how he came back and played when everyone was kind of wondering how he would be?
I mean, my reaction is like it always is with players of Kevin's caliber. Why is anyone surprised, right? The guy loves the game more than anything. He's totally dedicated. He's a Hall of Famer.
Questions.
Because he puts
Anyway,
in the work
to
and
your question,
prepares.
Vision.
Bro,
I think the trade's good for the Wolves.
Go on.
I think the trade is good for the Wolves, and I know people are going to be saying that they got worse, but I think they're going for longevity. And as long as they got Ant and Jaden Daniels and those young guys around that roster, and Gobert to be the anchor, Randall will learn to fit in. Now, he's not going to be as good on offensively as Cat, so they will lose that. But once again, they're just going to be more physical and more annoying. So,
can I repeat what that question was?
Go ahead.
It's burning a hole in my soul. It's so dumb, and I'm sorry. If you stumble upon this live stream later, and you're
the Wolves,
one of the guys that asked that question, I'm so glad. Sorry. Goodbye there, James. Sorry we didn't have any good questions for you. The question was, hey, remember when everybody was worried last season about Kevin Durant, but then he came back and hit his first 8 shots? How did that feel?
Bud.
Look at sexy Bud. Look, bro is on keto, minimum.
You are first. Remember to state your name and affiliate, please.
Hey, Coach Gerald Bourget, PHNX Sports. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I'm just curious because when we last spoke, you had talked about the importance of being able to play with a point guard, being able to play without one. Now that the offseason's over, you have 2 point guards who can come in here and kind of orchestrate the offense. How do you see that working, especially with the big 3 that last year had to do a lot of the creation and initiation on that end?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just starts with adding a really good basketball player in Tyus Jones and Monte Morris. So anytime you can add good basketball players, that's a great thing. And I think for our roster, especially to have a point guard, a starting point guard in Tyus, that I think, it puts, all 3 of those guys, but not just, Book and Kevin and Brad, but the entire group in a position to be their best also. Tyus is, I think well known for setting the floor and getting his teammates involved and, high assists, low turnover. I've been super impressed with just his presence. He has a way about him in the gym, the way he talks with his teammates, the way he has conversations with me. There's a confidence, there's an intelligence. I just think it's an incredible add and something that, I think credit to James and Josh and the organization to make that happen. Very, very fortunate, and I think Tyus is going to have a big impact, and so is Monte.
Dwayne.
Yes, Coach Dwayne Rankin, Arizona Republic. Good to see you. 2 things. One, I'm curious what you think
fix these lights.
the
Hold
team honoring Al with the jersey band. That's one. And then 2, the 3-guard look. Obviously, how do you like that in terms of the way the game is played today?
Yeah, started with Al. I mean, it's, I think everybody could see and know, I think the special place he has in probably the whole state's heart, all basketball fans' heart, the Suns' heart, my heart. So to honor him, I think is important to everybody, including me. So, what an incredible career, what an incredible life, an incredible man.
What is your question, Shane?
Known him just a little bit. So, hopefully the way we play, the way we represent ourselves would be something that Al would be proud of. So we'll be proud to wear the patch. The three guard, I'm not exactly sure what you mean with the three guard lineup. I think, with Tyus and Brad and Book and KD, we have a lot of guys, that are kind of perimeter, type skilled guys that can handle, that can shoot, that can pass.
I could give Bud a little
I think the
smooch on
game
the cheek.
has, been moving in that direction. The more skill, playing with more space, more pace, all those things. We feel like our guys are going to be really good together, and mixing and matching them. And it's not always, you can't have all four of them on the court at the same time.
What if we kissed through the green screen?
Grayson is somebody who started a bunch of games. Having him come off the bench, we feel like it's going to be something
it's
really
not
good
happening.
for us.
Okay.
And just the way they all mix together. So I'm excited about the talent, the skills that they bring to the table, and trying to maximize them.
David?
Hey, David Brandt from the Associated Press. Kevin has been remarkably durable over the past year or so, but he just turned 36 the other day, and just kind of wondered your kind of long-term thoughts about maybe easing him in, with the miles on his legs over the summer. Just
easing him in.
What's your kind of plan to make sure he stays fresh?
Yeah, I think Kevin's been great this summer. Sometimes he'll make a joke or something about his age, and but as you saw in the Olympics, as you saw this last year, I think he played 75 games. He loves hooping. He loves playing. He and I have kind of started to have a conversation about how do we, ultimately there's, you want to be playing your best basketball and you want to feel great going into the playoffs. How can we be, ultra competitive from Jump Street? I don't love the word ease Kevin or ease our team or ease anybody into the season. We want to be great coming out of the shoot. And so, there's always ways to be mindful of Kevin's body. But, I would say not just Kevin, it's really the entire team. We want to take care of them physically, have them feeling good, but at the same time still be ultra competitive and put ourselves in positions to win on a day-to-day basis and be playing good basketball and feeling good going into the playoffs.
Dave?
Coach, Dave Burns with Arizona Sports, back here in the back. Yep. My question for you is about Nurk and whether the work that we've seen him do on social media this summer has been with deliberate intent, perhaps to be a center more in line with maybe with what works with your system. I was curious if you've seen some of those videos and if that was part of your instruction, for lack of a better word, to him in the offseason?
Yeah. I'm not sure where I am in the generational thing. I'm probably just off of
Tim,
I have
I would
Instagram, but I
say-
don't really know how to go to it, I don't think, or Twitter or all those things. So I
Jalen
have not seen the
Bridges is gonna
videos,
be
but
your
I
guy.
have children that tell me about them or coaches that tell me about them. So I do know what you're talking about.
Yes, actually, I think a lot of the role players that they
and there
picked up will
definitely
be
has
those
been,
guys.
I think intentional work by Nurk and conversations with him about
I think Ryan Dunn
what
could
we
be that
think
guy.
he can do and add and
I
grow.
think
And
Tyus Jones
most
could be that
obviously
guy.
is a three-point shooter.
I think
Talking about
he's
Nurk
done
shooting
it a little
threes.
bit in his past, and we're going to push that envelope. And obviously, we feel like there's ways where he can impact the game in a really positive way offensively, but not just three-point shooting. There's lots of things that Nurk's an incredible passer. His skill, his
we know
IQ, his
that.
vision is,
It ain't that
as you
great.
watch
It's
film
pretty
and
good, but it
study
ain't-
him, it's pretty unique.
it ain't
So,
Joker, so
but
move
yeah,
on.
he's been given instruction to work on and shoot and practice threes, and we're going to
I
want
like
to see
that.
that.
Yeah,
in
vision, me
games.
too.
Dana?
Dana Scott, Arizona Republic.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries. You know what Grayson can do. You had him in Milwaukee, but also with Bull, it's a two-part question. What do you
Bull?
think is the biggest attraction of bringing Bull back, despite him not playing much in last year's playoffs for this team? And second is, you've seen this happen before with Barkley when he first came to the Suns in '92, and he had that great summer with the Dream Team, and that carried over into the Suns going to the finals. Do you see possibly that
What I
happening
reach
with
at the end of the
Devin,
question.
as you just mentioned with Kevin?
Completely
in the
different
Olympics,
question.
This summer in Paris.
Yeah, well, I guess, first maybe it was a little bit of Grayson and Bowl in the first question. I'll start with Bowl. I think from getting the job and being around, James and Josh in the front office and the guys that had watched the team last year, deciding to keep Fizz on the staff, there's a lot of, I'd say love or support or whatever words you want to use for how Bull can positively impact our team.
I like to hear that.
You look at some of the analytics when Bull and Nurk played together, were probably some of the best combinations for the team last year.
Yep.
So I think he's a really unique player and a shot blocker, with his length and how he can change the game defensively, and then offensively a unique skill set. Obviously an ability to shoot and make threes, but make plays that guys at that height and normally can't make. So I think learning and listening was really kind of won over with, he's somebody that can help us win. He's somebody that can impact winning. So I think we're excited about getting Bull back, and he's had a great summer in the gym working with the coaches. So he's been great. Grayson, it's been awesome to kind of reunite with him. We had several good years together. Love his wife Morgan; she's amazing. And I'll just say, watching him in the gym this summer, he's significantly better than when he left, and that's kind of one of our goals. We want players to get better, keep getting better, and he's a really good player. I think he's a lot underrated in a lot of ways, and maybe not appreciated the way.
So we appreciate White Flight here on this channel.
Feels that appreciation
Sixth man of the year,
me
you
and
think?
his teammates and organization.
Possibly.
Why not?
The contract, the commitment to him. I had not even realized that Charles Barkley played in the 92, and then it led into I was actually a Suns fan and not in the NBA in 92. So I remember those finals vividly. So yeah, let's go for it. Let's get Devin Booker to go from gold medalist to
and let's maybe
to
win
NBA
it this
finals.
time.
And I think the international play can be a springboard to a great season. Being around a lot of international players, it's I think really good for those guys, and obviously the American guys.
Barry.
Hey, Mike.
Relax,
Barry Kluger
Tim.
from Sportico. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you here. So you guys came from behind and beat the Suns in the finals in 2021, and Booker is the only guy left from that
Wish you
team.
to bring that up.
And they've had, shortened seasons of lack of expectation the last 3 years. What do you think you bring to this franchise as a coach that the last two guys didn't?
Well, I have a ton of respect for all coaches, and so it's always tough to follow, people and bring a new system and things like that. But with a ton of respect for both Frank and Monty, we're going to try and instill things that, we hope are helpful to us being successful and winning in the playoffs and advancing. And, there's a competitive spirit. There's a mindset that goes into, really us just being great competitors. When you get to the playoffs, you have to compete at a really high level. You have to build those habits, starting with first practice tomorrow. And hopefully those habits that we build throughout the year will put us in a position to be successful in the playoffs. I think there's things that fit this roster. There's style of play that fit this roster and the talent on it that we can instill and bring to the table. And the players embrace it, and we become elite and one of the top teams in the league, and compete for a championship. So, but it's all talk at this stage. I'm just like any other coach. I'm trying to get my team ready for practice tomorrow, get ready for games, and be the best we can, and have the best results. Come playoff time.
Cam,
Yeah, I'm looking at this on my phone. Our stream looks clean on the phone.
You talked about it when you were introduced to this.
Sundu's loving the green screen life, everybody.
Your team.
All right, he's a green screen
just
man
kind of get
now.
things rolling. And then also, Matt talked about the details that you've already fixed. What are some of those that you've already changed?
Yeah, it's been amazing to be back in the Valley, back in Phoenix, back in the state of Arizona.
Wish I could say the
around
same.
family, friends,
Wish I
all
could
that
afford
good
to
stuff.
move back.
This is the team I grew up cheering for. So, but then that stuff kind of quickly goes into the glove compartment, or you close the door and you go in the office, and you're a coach. And I just love our roster. Our players have been fantastic this summer, the work they've put in, the effort. Just really, really happy with it. And it's really about the players. So I'm excited to work with them, excited to hopefully get the best out of them. And, attention to detail, or there's just, I don't know, maybe we have better toothbrushes or the shampoo or something like that. But it's there's so many things. I think the organization's in a great place. Matt's been incredibly supportive. I think, I don't know how long he's owned the team, but I think there's just every day he's finding ways to make the organization better, to make, our facilities better, to make our team better. He wants to create an environment where we can be our best and where we can compete for a championship. And, just working with him and James and Josh, there's been a lot of change around the facility, a lot of change with our group, and we feel like it's it's been a huge positive. All right, thanks.
Thanks, Coach.
Out.
A lot better questions. Hey guys, real quick, I think Book's up next. Do us a favor. Take a second to look and see if you've hit the like button. I'm seeing 36 likes. Just hit that thing for us real quick if you don't mind. Did they bring... Oh, that's Amanda Flu.
That's your girl Flugrad, bro.
Okay.
Tom, at the top of the show, we were talking about the legendary broadcaster Al McCoy, what he meant to you, also the
let's be honest.
I hate you so much.
Come on.
But anyway, Bud got some good. The questions that people were asking were just like layup, kind of like, we're just happy to be here at Media Day. Let's ask some easy questions, like questions, man. Like,
the Suns are going to honor
bro, ask him about the rookies. Hopefully, when they said that Bud's gonna be on the set with them, so hopefully they get to ask those questions, right? Hopefully they'll be like, hey, what's the thought process of getting Ryan Dunn? So what are you gonna do with these young guys? Jalen Bridges. That's this type of stuff that I want to hear, like in these instances. Like, what are your plans for Jalen Bridges? I know he's a two-way, but do you think that he can be, a starter before the playoffs, if you guys make it? What about Oso? Do you plan on developing him, or do you want to get him some playing time? Ryan Dunn, your first round draft pick, same thing with him. What's your vision with him? I wish we could have got those questions asked instead of, like, we know that the big three, right? Like, we know that the big three are going to play. You don't have to ask questions about the big three. You don't need details about the big three. You know what you're going to get with the big three. Ask about the additions. Ask about Tyus Jones, which was asked. Ask about, they did ask about Bol Bol. I did like that. And I did like the fact that Coach Bud mentioned that the organization wanted to keep Bol Bol. So, which leads me to believe that Frank Vogel didn't like Bol Bol, but the organization did like Bol Bol.
Yeah, I think the players liked him. I think
right.
Ooh, more Bud talk. More bonus Bud.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fun.
So saying said he was going to be on there.
Excited.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for taking the time. It's great to see you again, tipping off a new season with the Phoenix Suns. But I want to focus in on the news with Al McCoy, the Suns honoring him
Rest in peace, Al McCoy.
Wearing a jersey patch. And obviously, he had an impact on you growing up. Can you just talk about
BRB.
the relationship that you had and,
BRB.
and also what you've seen from
I gotta
him
change.
just
It's
in
getting
the
hot in
community
here.
in general?
Yeah, well, you're wearing a full-blown hoodie.
There's so many things that are exciting about coming back to Phoenix and the state of Arizona, but I mean, it's all true. I mean, it sounds.
How about our
almost
vision on
like
the
a movie or
defensive side?
something.
Yeah,
Listening to
just
him,
questions like that. I wish they would ask. Now, I know he probably won't answer all of them. There's probably a little gamesmanship there, but
I feel like
still, you want to kind of get an idea of what do you expect from this team? What do you expect from each player? What's the vision for these players? This is also not just a one-year vision, but it's a multiple-year vision, right?
I think I'm
and
probably associated with the Suns as much as any player.
What is your vision for Ryan Dunn and Oso? Colin Gillespie's a two-way you signed. Do you think that he can break through and be a solid player?
I'm not saying every game, but I tried every
game.
And
then what's the plans for the next draft when you don't have a first-round pick? Things like that. I mean, those are James Jones questions,
incredibly kind and
but just more things like that is what I want.
So yeah, I think to get to know him over the years and
so maybe we'll get some
there on the day that I was announced as the head coach is incredibly special, and now to honor him with the patch and hopefully our team will represent him in a way that
we
he'd be
drafted
proud
Ryan Dunn
of
to
and-
solve
and,
all
you
of
know,
our
we'll be
defense
proud
problems. I
to
mean, I don't think
wear
he's
the
going to solve
jersey in the
all
patch.
of them, but
And that was
he
so
is a
emotional to
freaking.
watch you hug him.
I think he'll
and
be
see
a
what it
great
meant
defensive
to
player,
you to
right?
have him introduce you
But
at the press
then
conference as
again,
well, and I
how
mentioned
often is he
that
going to play?
that's
You
a
just
hug
heard
that
him
he took
like
to heaven.
your starting lineup's going to be
it's
Tyus
a great
Jones,
call.
Beal,
It
Booker,
was so true
Durant,
and so genuine.
Nurk.
So yeah.
So how often
They
is he going to
surprised me
play
with
behind
that,
a Royce
and,
O'Neal, behind a
and I'm very
Grayson Allen, behind
appreciative to have
a
that moment.
Monty Morris,
Coach, entering your first season
Saban,
as
not
the new
Saban
head
Lee,
coach of the
Damian
Suns,
Lee,
and really
not Saban
the
Lee,
offseason can be
Damian
looked at
Lee,
as a time where you
Plumlee,
foster
right?
those
Like,
relationships
where's Dunn
with
going
the
to fit
players.
into all of
How
that?
have you been able to connect with them so far this offseason?
Like, you can make an argument that our rookies will be
Yeah, I mean,
on the
it's- I
third
think
team.
the most
Like,
important thing
you can make that
do,
argument
really every summer
that they are
and all
third
throughout
team
the year,
rotation
but
players.
as a new coach, you got to start building those relationships and start to get to know them as people as much as players. And so there's been dinners, there's been traveling, there's been trips abroad to Europe. I think my passport got worked out this summer.
And then on top of that, Tim, like,
I have to go to
I
Croatia
think
to visit
Dunn.
Nurk. This is terrible.
If he's going to get good playing time and be that defensive powerhouse,
it's
he's
been
got to
it's been
develop
a
an
good
offensive
summer
game
spending time
quickly.
with the players and getting to know them
Quickly,
and
I
developing
say.
that relationship, and then also being in the gym and my assistant coaches, working with them and developing relationships with them and them starting to understand, the things that are going to be important to us. So
I'm getting all.
It's been a great summer, and it's mostly about building the relationships. Can
you tell us more about that trip to see Nurk in Croatia? I mean, I've seen some pictures, some video. He looks like he's slimmed down, and he's certainly shooting a lot of threes.
Yeah, no, Nurk looks great.
Nurk slimmed down?
It's funny when you
He
don't
definitely
coach somebody,
did.
I'm maybe not as dialed in, but everybody is
Maybe
just
that'll help with
raving
health.
about his body. And I
Well, they're
think
talking about him shooting
you can
threes.
see it. He feels good. I feel like he's moving well. He and I talking about the things that where we feel like he can grow and improve and impact our team, and he's been great. And he and his wife just were the most incredible hosts, and the Dalmatian coast and Croatia. And
Seth Maxwell
getting in
says,
the
if you want a
water
realistic
and
take, here it
eating
is.
some
If the
fresh fish
team
and
rebounds
all the
and misses,
things
they
that you
have
get
a
to do
chance
when
to
you travel
win this
abroad
make
and
or
learn
miss
other
league.
people's cultures and their ways.
I like it.
It was one
Solid
of my
take.
favorite trips. Got to take my 19-year-old son with me, and so it was just it was beyond kind of our expectations. It was a lot of fun.
It's nothing like swimming in the Adriatic Sea, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, hopefully it put some more years on me.
Another player that you had mentioned too, Grayson Allen, being reunited with him. You said that you've been able to see him in the gym. He's gotten significantly better. Describe that to us. What have you seen specifically?
Yeah, I mean, it's so great to kind of reunite with Grayson. He is just he's somebody that plays the way we want to play.
The exact same. I know. We're asking questions about old players.
Competitiveness.
I understand, like in the media,
But,
you
in
really
the
got to
gym
get
this
these
summer, just
storylines
his
and
ability
these
to
things
drive
out
and finish
to the
and
public.
his
Like that's the
footwork,
storylines you're going to write for
you know,
your franchise. Like he's
shooting,
back with
I
Grayson.
think a
He
quicker
loves
trigger,
Bobo and the
deeper,
big three. That's cool.
deeper range
I get
and,
that. Give me some
ability
in-depth
to get in
questions,
and out
please.
of screens and just play. I was very, very high on him, and it's now good to see him up close and see that he's embraced. He's just continuing to get better, and glad to be coaching him again.
And we're glad to have you here in Phoenix, Coach. Thank you so much for your time.
Book's up
And
next, folks.
looking forward to the start of training camp tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you
See
guys.
you tomorrow.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Awesome,
Coach.
great, thanks.
No, thank you.
It's kind of interesting, too, Amanda. We talk about maybe a more svelte Nurk. In some of the footage
Book's
that I've
talking
seen
right
of
now,
Grayson
they're
Allen
not
working
showing
out
him.
this past summer at
Huge
Duke,
L.
you and I
Yes,
had
we
discussed
have
that.
that
He looks like
footage
he's
to
not be
bulked
talking.
up, like
He
he's
has,
added
yes.
some
He may
strength.
just be
And
there
as
waiting
Coach
for the
Bud
cut.
says,
Everybody in
like
the
he had
chat
unlimited range
is of
beforehand,
this,
and now
Phoenix Suns
with some added
actual media
muscle,
today
yeah,
is
he might be stepping back a
talking
couple
about
more
Book is
feet.
talking.
Yeah, that
Shut
was really cool to
up.
hear him
No
too,
one
his
cares.
evolution
Put
as
Book
a
on.
player as well. But without further ado, we have Suns Mercury and Valley Suns owner Matt Ishbia joining us. Matt, it's great to see you.
Maybe they're going to show him on
new
delay.
season for
They'll
Phoenix
probably
Suns
show him
That might be it.
basketball.
They
You have a
probably
new
will
head
be.
coach, several new
So they
players.
can edit out all
What
the
is the goal getting right into it?
all the
What's the goal for
profanities
this
that he
season?
uses.
Well, first off, we're going to hopefully have a great season all the way across the board, from fan experience, all the aspects. But the truth is, we want to get better every day and compete for a championship, right? We want to compete at the highest level. And I think Coach
What
Bud,
if I kissed
Or owner
Matt
speak.
Ishbia on the
Josh,
cheek?
James, everyone's
Go
aligned with
try
the
it.
mentality of like, we got to get better every day. We love our team. We love the guys.
Hold
we love the
still,
coaches.
Matt. that?
We think we made some great change over the summer. We thought it was a fantastic summer.
Do you want this
But now we
kiss
gotta
or
go out there and
not?
compete. Now we got to go out there and show it. And,
No means
talk
no.
cheap. So let's start competing and start doing it, and that starts
Fine.
tomorrow at practice. And it's already started because of the open gyms and all the work they've been putting in.
You mentioned how impressive.
Azul says, I can't wait for the dog lineup with Okogie, Dunn,
developing those
KD, Royce,
relationships with
and
the
Book
players. What have
/
you
Beal.
seen, over the past month?
You mean the
James Jones was
non-shooting
talking
lineup
about all the
minus
sweat
KD
that's,
and Book?
going on in that practice facility
Right.
already with some of these pickup games.
Yeah, it's just that they're all in. Like, the guys are in. Everyone's excited about it. There's a joy out there. They're working hard. There's structure and leadership.
We'll probably
from
get
the
Booker,
coaching
like
staff,
Gabe said,
not
on
just the head coach,
delay.
The assistant coaches, the front office is aligned. We've made some changes there.
Yeah, I highly doubt they wouldn't show us
bought into the
Booker's
same
interview.
goals, same strategy, same work ethic, same mentality, and it's been fun to see already. And obviously we'll see it in practice tomorrow. But seeing it when it's optional and they don't have to be there like they were the last couple weeks, that's like a great sign to see what we're going to do. But now it's got to translate, and we're working on that.
Someone
Training
in the
camp is
comments
upon us,
like,
and then the preseason.
oh,
At
it's
the second game of
Jose.
the preseason,
Says
the Suns are
the
playing
sweat.
at Michigan State.
Why?
I have to ask that. Just being
Why?
able to go back, see
Like,
your
why
team
is he
being
sweating
played
so
at your alma
much?
mater
He's
and where
intense,
you
bro.
started your
He's in
career.
a suit
How did that kind of come about? Getting
in
that game there?
Phoenix.
Yeah, no, we're really excited about it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We played
And he
in
loves
Detroit last year in the
cocaine,
preseason game, so
allegedly.
to be able to be there together and do some cool
Don't worry,
things.
Hey,
in
bro,
Michigan.
he's just
It's
hype,
my
man.
world a little bit, but going to Breslin Center and Coach Izzo's going to be there, and the Michigan State basketball team and that organization, it's really cool. And also for Devin Booker, he's just
Bro,
grew
there
up
is
not
a
far from
fly
there as
in
well,
this
and so I
room
think it's really
that is
cool
just
on a college
ring.
campus
I
to see
can't.
the Phoenix
It's just
Suns,
being a
playing
menace.
great
Take your
position.
shirt
So,
off and
we
start
appreciate the Pistons wanting to
swinging.
do it there and being open to
Yeah,
that. and
I'm not
really
doing
making it
that for
a special day
Diego, so chill out.
Our whole organization, and obviously me included.
Obviously, been a very busy summer.
And then
You were in Paris watching the
freaking
Olympics,
Metro
too.
just entered
What
the building
was your
too.
summer
So
highlight?
Well, it's pretty cool to see.
Bro
my
says,
summer
I don't
highlights,
see sweat, I see
seeing
killer
5 of them,
instinct.
the women and men winning the gold medal was really pretty cool. But also, I can't not mention the WNBA All-Star Game and that weekend. It's really special for all the women in the league. But
Somebody
also
say
our
Sophie
players and our
Cunningham, though?
organization. So those are two really big highlights
Yeah,
of the summer. On
Sophie
top
Cunningham.
Of Coach
You-
Bud and
I gotta
Tyus
give you
and
your due.
Mason and some of these guys.
I gotta
joined,
give
of
the
course,
devil his
Monte, and,
due.
even getting our guys to stay with us. That's another thing that I think
You were
talking
right. You
about
saw the
enough is,
vision.
Grayson
I'd never
obviously
even
did
heard of
last year,
it.
But Royce could have went elsewhere.
You said, I saw
want
the
Royce.
vision.
He's a great
You
player.
did.
Bull and Josh and even Damian, these guys that even didn't play last year, they wanted to stay here. And so that's really the highlight of the summer is that everyone wanted to be part of it. The Phoenix Suns, we made some really great changes. We hope we're going to be better than we were last year. We had a good season last year,
I
but
know
not
you're
where we
crushing
wanted
on
to
your
be. Now
girl,
we're gonna continue to
Caitlin
highlight.
Clark.
And I'm sure I don't know if you know this, but you are the only owner to have 5
like a
players
walking
in the
thumb
same
with a
sport
wig
compete
on.
in the Olympics.
That's crazy
Hearing
talk,
that,
dude. That's so
how does that
rude.
feel for you?
Well, I think it feels great. I think it's more a tribute to our great GMs and
All
great,
right, he keeps talking
CEO
about
and
stuff that
coaches
has nothing to
and
do with
great
players, and I
that
don't
they've done.
like it.
And
I
also
want to
our
hear
fans
about
wanna
the
be here.
players.
People like Khalid Copper wanted to come to be here and be part of our organization. Kevin Durant and Booker's obviously been here his whole career, but Diana and BG want to stay another season and play. I think that's
I'm
a
gonna be real,
tribute
Gabe.
to our whole
I don't ever
organization,
want to go to
but
Suns
for me,
Media
it
Day.
was
I
really
think we go to
special
Suns Media Day,
out
we're
there
getting
and
kicked
support
out
them.
because we're gonna ask hard
Show love to
questions
them
and they're gonna
see them
hate
win a
us.
gold.
Yeah.
I've never been to the Olympics in my life, and so being able to see
Can
that
I be
was
honest
really,
about
really
Ishbia's
special and
tie?
cool.
So
I
the
bet that
headquarters
tie
player
costs more than my
15,
house.
you
It
were
is
Oh, man.
clean,
walked down at
bro.
Michigan State. So that's always been
Oh
really
my God, I
important
love
to you.
that
When
tie.
you look at this Suns roster right now, who's coming up, who's going to be developed that you're
Metro
excited to
burns
see?
you in the chat.
Well, I really like this year that we have.
Ironic, Gabe would
young
talk
guys,
about people looking like
that-
thumbs when
that
he
are
is
developed.
the
Bull is still
thumb.
pretty young.
It's
You
true.
realize how young Bull is, but
Very
Bull
true.
and then Ryan and Oso, right? Then you got Jalen.
Here's the
on
deal.
two-way, and then
I don't-
Gillespie and Ty
I would
Washington,
love to go to
Colin,
Media Day.
you
I
know,
think me and
he's
Gabe,
been
we
leading
can't be
and done really
serious.
well.
Like,
But
we
yet
just
see
can't.
young,
I
developed
think
Like, we
we
could
could
try.
do it.
I think
We
they're
could
gonna
try,
this year, but I actually
but I don't
think,
think we
you know,
could.
the nice thing is they're under contract for a
And
couple,
we-
for a couple
that would get
years,
us in
so
trouble.
They can get better every day.
And then, of course,
I think we
and
would
then, of
ask
course,
great questions.
Gabe's reputation would precede him. There'd be countless emails to the Suns organization about it.
Kamala would be waiting with cuffs, is what you're saying?
Exactly.
Damn. You're right. You're right. But I think we could do it. I think we could ask good questions. And
Done.
He's done?
Talking about Ryan Dunn.
To be able to work out with him, you're going to get better just being in the gym with that guy and seeing the level and the pace that Kevin Durant or Devin Booker work at. And having these young guys, they're like, okay, this is how the pros, the best do it. And so Kevin's been great. He's been more vocal with those things. He helped. I know Bull worked with him and Dunn, and he wants to work out every day. And so getting people around him, he's just an ultimate winner, and he's going to make those guys better, and not only for this year but for their career.
You talked about your summer highlight, the WNBA All-Star Game. It's only a couple years away before you guys will be hosting the NBA All-Star Game. So you set the bar pretty
We are
darn
hosting
high.
the All-Star Game, aren't we?
Absolutely. We're,
I think you and me should get
player 15 group, the Phoenix Suns.
that
Everyone
Suns
did a great job
polo
making it, but now we get the
and wear
Suns
polos
to get to
for
host the
every
All-Star Game in
stream.
2027. So
Suns
we're definitely excited about that.
Let's
We're
do
gonna
it.
get the All-Star Games this year.
Let's
see
do
what
it.
the team is doing
And
great
make us look
how we
more
can make it
professional.
better.
You know what I'm saying?
Put our stamp
Let's
on it. Like
do it.
hopefully we did in the WNBA.
I have no issue getting a Suns polo.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We always appreciate it. We'll be seeing you tomorrow at the start of training camp. We're really looking forward to it.
Thank you.
We got to get
Yeah,
that
of
color,
course.
a black
See you
one,
again.
and then a purple one.
So we could rotate. Oh,
Rotate.
that'd be so cool, bro.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
All right, so coming up next after Matt Ishbia is
said
going to be
Matt Ishbia, is that like his black
it's,
cousin?
You know, again, talking to all of the executives, and we've got the players coming too. And of
Okay,
course,
so
including
apparently
Devin Booker and
they're
Kevin
not going to
Durant and
give us the
Bradley
players
Beal,
doing this,
along
but the
with a
players
couple
will
of
come
new
up and
guys,
talk to
Tyus
them.
Jones
So we're not going
and
to get
Mason
the player
Plumlee,
media
but,
with
you know,
like,
there's just
which
this
is
buzz
unfortunate,
around the
right?
team.
Our boy
And
Clean's
there always
asking the
seems to be
question. Our
excitement and
Void is down
optimism,
there,
Josh.
all asking the good
I
questions.
know for a fact they had the good questions
This
because I was
year
listening.
With the new
Yeah.
coach and just everybody's ready for this thing to get cranked up.
All right,
We're
here
super
is
excited.
light-skinned
It's
Roy
been a
on the
busy
screen.
summer, and starting with getting Coach Bud.
Roy,
which,
get
it
off
seems
the
like it was a long time ago, but it
screen.
wasn't. I remember
At least it gives us a chance to talk because ain't nobody trying to hear Bartlestein.
I'm not trying to hear him either, bro.
Okay?
Not trying
It's
to
just
hear
something
him,
about
man.
this guy rubs me the wrong way. All right?
All right, people in the chat.
And
since
talk
we're not
about
getting-
sweaty.
Since we're not, yo, he is.
But what if I kissed Bartlestein on the forehead?
Please don't.
Yeah. Didn't taste good. Didn't taste like I thought it would. Go on.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, people in the chat, what are your thoughts on this team roster construction? More specifically, the bench players. We know about the starting five. We know what's going to happen. I'm more wanting to know about the rotation players and if they're going to all work out. I think this team is going to be deep, I say, which should lead us to at least a top 4 seed in the West. That's my opinion. I don't know.
It's deep. The starting five is incredible. Incredible.
Mr. Incredible. Incredible. No, for real. Like
It is.
Tyus Jones, Beal, Booker, Durant, Nurk.
It's stupid.
Solid.
Dummy,
That is a
stupid.
solid,
dummy,
stupid top starting five. Then you got Grayson off the bench. Royce O'Neal coming off the bench. Monte Morris coming off the bench. Damian Lee coming off the bench. Mason Plumlee coming off the bench. Then you got your rookies. You got Oso, Dunn, Bridges coming off the bench. You got Bobo coming off the bench. You know what I mean? Like that's 14 deep of dudes that you would be fine
And then
with being on the
15
court.
could be Swanky Frankie. And or
Frank or Colin Gillespie.
Oh.
I got the
Exciting
roster pulled up right here.
whites.
Here we go.
Exciting
Grace-
whites.
here we go.
But did you
Grayson
have
Allen.
Jalen Bridges involved? Because are we looking at
I did put-
Jalen
I did say
Bridges?
Jalen Bridges.
But for a final for a real official contract, because he's on.
I think so.
two-way.
I think they're leaving the door open
It could
because
come down to
of
him
the
and
contract that they
Frankie.
gave Frank Kaminsky, right? Exactly. Like they really let the door open. They didn't just sign somebody to that last contract. It's open, and so here's your only real contracts because I'm looking at it right now. Grace now, real contracts. Grace now and Bradley Beal, Bobo, Devin Booker. Apparently, some dude named Dia. How you say that? Dia.
Diakate. I can't remember how you say it. I've
Okay,
only seen
so
it.
he's on a real contract. Ryan Dunn, Kevin Durant, Oso, Tyus Jones, Damian Lee, Monte Morris, Yusuf Nurkic, Royce O'Neal, Okogie, Plumlee. So those
Tim,
are your actual real contracts.
Tim, that's very possible, and I agree. You don't have like it's a non-starter for me. Not giving Jalen Bridges. He should have a contract.
He should
by
have
now.
I agree with you.
There's no, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to crown people before they've earned it, but Dag Nabbit, crown his ass. Give him a contract.
It's not even so much as crowning him. It's just like the fact that who we've talked to and people have had him high on their draft boards, and that he just didn't go because of the age and the fact that he was a redshirt senior. Like, so people were like, don't want him, right? So like, yeah, I feel like with the length, the shooting, the defense, he should have a roster spot. Like this Diakate guy, don't know much about him, so forgive me, you NBA.
He just seemed
specialist.
like a filler player to me.
I mean, he's from Virginia, so
But we'll have to look him up.
I don't know, but I don't know much about him. But I just feel like Jalen Bridges should be a no-brainer. You're making this team with the shooting and the defense and the length. That's just me.
I have spent more time with Josh Bartelstein this week than I've spent with my wife. Get him off camera. I'm done with him. We don't need to hear this. There's nothing he could be telling me right now that would be more interesting than Book or shit. I listen to anybody right now. Anyone on the team.
How old do you think this guy is? He seems relatively young.
He looks young.
To be a CEO?
Good for him. God bless. You know? Am I surprised?
Frank the Tank and Bridges on the roster would be legit. Ditch Colin Gillespie. Chill out, bro. So I don't think you need ditch Colin Gillespie. I think Colin Gillespie stays as a two-way, and he'll be called down or whatever. But I think Gillespie potentially has the potential to be a decent point guard in the league. We got Kolek at home. Y'all want a Kolek? Well, guess what? We got Kolek at home and Colin Gillespie.
This dude seems like the type of dude that would be like in a football movie, and he's the offensive lineman that everybody hates, but then he makes a game-saving block for a black player, and then everybody loves him.
It's just Colin is 5'8". That man is not 5'8".
No, he's not.
It's crazy.
Gillespie's like 6'2"?
No, he was like, it said he was an even 6 foot.
He's
whenever
6.
we look.
Is he really only 6 foot?
It said he was an even 6 foot.
There's no
6'1", ESPN says.
Mm.
You know how they exaggerate height, though.
It's true.
Bro's probably 5'11".
They stopped being allowed to do that, though. They started, like 3 years ago, they started making players do all their measurements with shoes off. So it'd be real.
Free says, finally a live stream. Yeah, we're back, my guy. We just took a break, bro. We were not about to force ourselves, even though we said we were. We didn't realize, like, hey, we're not going to clickbait you guys throughout the entire offseason.
Last offseason was different because we kept having these moves trickle through like all season. Like, oh my gosh, and now we're getting Eric Gordon.
Yeah, the Beal trade definitely helped out with that, right?
And the excitement was at an all-time high. This season, it's like we want to take a little bit more measured approach, but also we don't want to just put out content for the sake of putting something out. Like if it's not somewhat important, that way you guys feel like, whether you realize it or not, when you see us post a video, you should hopefully feel like, hey, this must be like an actual storyline. This is like something that I should know about. Like, because we're not going to be like, you know, no offense to anybody that does this, but like, we're not going to take tiny little stories and blow them up this season, you know, except for after this game, we're going to do that with Bull. Okay. That's just honesty.
Those guys, and he's like his brother Miles. A lot of bounce.
So is this what it is today? Is this all we're getting?
But there's just something about
no
it.
offense to from players. Interview from players.
A few years ago, when they were making their finals run.
I mean,
somebody in the chat for the Suns said, "I'm missing the birth of my child for this."
Yeah, I doubt that's real, but that would be crazy if it was.
Coach Bud.
Mm-hmm. JM says y'all said the same. Oh, well, not y'all. There's no y'all, but I'm assuming I'm going to pretend you put y'all. But said the same thing last offseason about Watanabe, Metu, Gordon, Diop. We have 3 decent players, mid-def. We need a center.
Yeah, we don't. That's a good point because we don't know how this is going to translate to on court.
Look. Oh, Book's on.
There we go. Everybody, shut the hell up.
That we
went on vacation.
That deep
it
voice,
looks like a joint vacation that you had. Yeah, we have that slide photo somewhere.
Okay.
But you know, starting with the news of Al McCoy, I know just the relationship that you had with him. You put a post out about how it was just a privilege for him
that
to
one
call,
tasted better
your 8
than
seasons.
Bartelstein.
You're wearing the jersey now with the jersey patch.
What does that represent for you this season to be able to honor him throughout the year?
Yeah, it means everything to me. I think any true Phoenix Suns fans or any basketball fan around the world understands the importance of Al McCoy to the Phoenix Suns. He's been here from the beginning, and he's embedded in the culture. He's embedded in all of our lives. It felt like a family member passing, and hard to deal with, but he shared so many stories. We'd have so many moments together that I'll forever cherish.
Was there maybe a favorite moment or memory that you have with him that you'll think back on, or any advice that he ever shared with you?
Oh, it might have seemed small in the moment, but I remember getting off a road trip when he was still traveling with the team, and I was like, Al, how are you still traveling with us, man? He's like, I love it, Book. I just love it, and that's the energy that I love having around. And I think after we broke the franchise record of 63 games won, honoring him with that jersey.
Tory Jones in the chat. We back.
We'll get to the Olympics.
What's up, Tory?
But
We are indeed back,
I've
Tory.
seen a lot of pictures
Mr.
of you up
Jones.
north. They're falling in love with you up there. It looked like you were off-roading. You might have even had some teammates up there. What can you share with us about your love of Northern Arizona?
Kind of talking about it too much, man. It was my hidden gem, but I think I've exposed it.
I didn't name the town or anything.
Secrets out.
Somewhere north.
Secrets out. I've exposed it. No, Flagstaff is beautiful, man. I love getting in the car and I enjoy the drive
what
up
about
there.
Sedona?
I enjoy
They're
balancing
very close.
the hectic lifestyle and being over in Paris and wherever we were for 2 months, and then getting to get off the grid and just be in nature, be in the woods with my dog.
You just mentioned Paris, but the Olympics, you were really the glue guy for the team. And Steve Kerr even mentioned high praise.
Jeff
saying
F.,
that
when I
you're
go to
really
Arizona, I'm
the
going to
unsung
Sedona now just because you
MVP
called
of
it trash.
that team. What did you take from
That's where I'm
that
going.
overall experience as a whole?
Oh, man. I had a lot of reflecting time in Flagstaff. That was probably, I'd say, the greatest moment or greatest summer of my career thus far from an experience standpoint. It was just a journey all the way through, not even, the Serbian game or the gold medal game, like even camp when we started in Vegas, just being around the guys. And, we have a group message that still rings off. All 12 guys are communicating in there. So, we developed some relationships and some bonds that will, last a lifetime.
How about Coach Bud? What was your initial conversation like with him? What were some of the things that he brought up, and what excited you most about?
But just
playing
wait,
for him?
Sundo, you don't live in AZ? No, I do not.
No, man. We just talk about competing.
Wish I did, but I don't.
Talked about last season.
I'm
a little
stuck
bit.
here in
we did around
Missouri.
the golf. I think that's the best way to get to know somebody, and even in that, you can just see where his competitive mindset's at. So he's a true winner. He has a ring.
Ignore the noise going up above me. My wife is babysitting a child, and she's going nuts.
Who won? Who won on the golf course?
He won.
Really?
Yeah,
He's pretty darn good, man.
I think,
really?
I think he played
well,
in
he had a
college.
year
Don't
off to
quote me on
practice
that.
and
That's
polish
true.
his game.
He did say he
right?
traveled a lot and
Yeah,
played.
there you go.
And what better spot now to practice even more than here in
Oh,
Arizona?
yeah. We have a few
It's the
options out
great
here.
weather.
Exactly.
But Book, before we let you go, you talk about the Olympics and just the relationships that you built there. How do you feel that also will continue to just make you better as a player, build that confidence, and then the carryover, the chemistry with Kevin Durant too into this season?
Yeah, I think even when you're not trying to, you're gathering information around those guys, and every coach and player on there is mostly Hall of Famers and just solidified stars that have been to where I'm trying to go. So taking all the bits and pieces and
that's insane, Azul. That's insane.
I do,
111? No way.
Is the main goal. So I understand we have what it takes in this locker room. I'm ready to do it.
All right. It's my go-to question. I've been
it.
asking everybody.
Okay.
Who's the sleeper on this roster? We've gotten Bol. We just got Mason
Plumlee.
Plumlee. Yep. Is there somebody on this on the
I
roster
doubt it's
that might
gonna be
surprise
Plum.
Suns fans?
Tyus Jones. Yeah, I'm going Tyus.
Yeah.
class of 2014 high school, so we've been at it since camp ball. Yeah.
Guy knows how to set the table, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he can score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We actually have one more question really quickly from Twitter. We asked fans to send in.
Okay.
This is from Hans. First impression of the rookies done in Oso.
Competitive, wise beyond their years, which is important. You know, we spent some time, you know, trying to build through the draft, but, you know, I think the quicker you can find guys that, you know, understand how to play and have a high IQ for the game, and those guys do. So, you know, I'm looking forward to sharing the court with them.
Appreciate you wearing the jersey too. That's our first look at Al in the patch, man.
Okay, I thought we were gonna
sweet.
put Shazam on there, man. That's what I was lobbying for. All right, y'all.
Al looks
Thanks for
weird,
having
bro.
me.
I'm not
Great
gonna
to
lie.
see
It
you,
should be
as always.
Shazam.
Thank you.
Have a great season, Bud.
Or his full
All right.
name.
That's pretty good. Speaking of Bud, golfing with Bud, like we're getting all the
Hey,
scoop
what-
here.
what better way to
And
bond,
Bud
right?
winning the
It's just such a big patch for
competition.
two letters.
And you knew it meant something. to both
Shazam
of
would
those
fit
guys, too.
perfectly across, and it would just look cool. I don't know.
What's up? How are you?
That's Kevin
Maybe
Durant.
they'll change it.
Shows
Joining
up
us now.
Fresh off the birthday.
Happy belated birthday. I left your birthday card at home, actually.
KD in the house.
But I'm just joking. But it did look like online that you were able to celebrate with some of your teammates.
Looks like
Who-
KD's
who
up next. Here we
organized
go.
that?
Yeah, so we had a team get together yesterday, and Matt and Coach Bud threw me on the spot and made the rookies sing me happy birthday, along with some of the kids that were there too. So it was good to see everybody's family, and it's the start of a new season when you get everybody together like that.
And you caught a football game.
Yeah,
With Magic Johnson. I mean, there aren't that
can't
many
beat that
secrets out
birthday.
there, man, right?
You can't beat that birthday. Your
Yeah.
Commanders, who rarely come in town, come in town on the same day. Get a
Funny to
great
see him
win,
sitting
got to
next
hang
to
out with Magic,
regular-sized
got to hang out with
people.
my teammates, got a happy birthday. I mean, I can't beat that.
Wow, that's a
It's
good
great
day.
It's a great
That's
day.
a good
Great
day.
day.
Yeah. Do you have a relationship with Magic? Obviously, you guys have known each other, run across each other in circles, but sometimes it can be deeper.
Yeah, definitely. Last couple of years, we got closer. Just from having mutual friends, having friends with the Commanders now, so we see each other more times than we used to, and we had dinners and talks before about some stuff. So that's the best thing about the league, man, the brotherhood and how much the older generation gives back to the younger generation. So guys are still doing it.
And I know this offseason you were able to take in a Commander's practice too. How was
Yeah,
that?
yeah, that was actually this week too. They stayed here throughout. They came here early for the whole week, so they got to spend the week at ASU practicing. So I was able to go check them out. It's been a great week, man. I'm looking forward to the season. Though that's the real grind. That's the real. That's my real love of the year. It's right around this time when the season starts.
You kind of got an early birthday present, your 4th Olympic gold medal.
Yeah,
you became the all-time Olympic.
That's pretty dope.
leader.
4-time Olympic gold medalist.
That experience in Paris.
All-time Olympic scoring leader?
You have to mention Book too, because we talked about Steve
Captain
Kerr and his
America.
comments about him being the glue and
Unsung hero.
I like
how
the
do you
nickname,
sum
Captain
that up
America.
At this point, without writing an autobiography in a full chapter.
It was a great experience. You can't beat traveling around the world playing basketball with your teammate and some guys, a lot of guys that you know throughout the league, So it was like we were on tour, man. It felt like the biggest music band in the world got together, biggest music band of all time got together and played shows around the world and got to bond and hang out with one another and actually go win a gold medal. So, it's one of those things I'm always remember. I'm always think about and reference when I'm talking about my time as an NBA player.
And nobody's going to forget you coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Coming off the injury.
Don't you worry,
and
Metro.
not missing.
Do you know who's going to be the
Hitting
greatest
every shot
USA
and the
player in
reaction
Olympic
from
history
the
after
teammates.
KD?
Yeah.
Not to
That
mention
white
the
boy they
reaction
had on
back
the
here in
team.
the
What's his
United
name?
States. I mean, what does it feel like now thinking back or watching those highlights?
Cooper Flag.
Cooper Flag. Well, trust me, he's going to be it.
Moment there. Steph had that moment late, those 2 games. Bron had a moment throughout the whole thing. Book's whole, changing of the role and playing a different role and taking that in and people appreciating that.
The Blazers savior, Tory Jones.
You got the Ant Edwards.
Cooper Flag about to be the man, bro. Just wait.
That first game was my moment to kind of stay, put my stake in the ground. It's like, yo, I'm a part of this team.
And we're gonna need him because all this French Revolution that we're having around the world is not good for American basketball.
The entry point to let everybody know that I was there. So I was glad I was able to experience that.
And how much do you carry that with you, too? I mean, just the best of the best playing together. You guys, Book was saying you guys are still on a text chain, talking, just fostering those relationships, too. How has that been for you?
Yeah, that's a special part about Team USA.
He doesn't even have a goatee. Metro, he has a full beard.
Well, with a chin strap.
He's got a beard. Don't matter. It's a beard, and East Metro don't have one, so he can't. So he can shut up.
East Metro's about 9 years away from a beard.
Stimulated on another level mentally, as far as getting to know people, different backgrounds. Just learning more about what we're doing in this whole world, this ecosystem.
I have not played Space Marine, Jeff F. No.
That's the elites of the elites, and I'm always
no.
part of that situation.
Can I ask him now?
Sure.
My sleeper question. Who's the sleeper on the roster?
Here we
Who's
go.
that
Good
one
question.
guy that maybe you can tell Suns fans, keep an eye on him. We've had Bol, Mason Plumlee, and Book just went with Tyus Jones, which, I mean, he's the starting point guard, but I don't think everybody here in Phoenix maybe appreciates his skills, but maybe a youngster, maybe another guy.
I'm going to go Ryan Dunn. I think
Ryan Dunn.
I like it. He had a different answer every time.
And you worked out with him this offseason.
Got to play with him the last couple of weeks. I feel like he's going to we got some footage there. I feel like he's really going he really wants to be great. I feel like he is trying to download as much information as he can about the NBA lifestyle, the game, and how he can.
Look at Katie just taking him to school, though.
And, he's starting off as a utility guy. Somebody has to come in and play a role and understand, and he has to help the team first. And so those guys usually develop pretty fast and once they get thrown in the fire. So I'm looking forward to seeing.
Okay, what about our guy Jalen Bridges?
Best piece of advice you've given him so far?
Celebrate every small win. Because play a lot of games. You want to have a long career, but you can easily take a lot of this stuff for granted. So every win is important, and every loss should be a lesson as well.
I can't even imagine what it's like for Ryan Dunn. Kevin Durant takes you under his wing. That's pretty
Tori,
special,
are you
man.
telling me? I'm going to go back to Tori. Are you telling me that the Blazers are going to be dog water this year?
Every day is contagious. So
on purpose?
All right. Have a great one. Have a good season.
Thank you so much. Great to see you again.
Is that really their? I mean, obviously it's their plan, but
tomorrow at the
are
start
you
of
okay with that
training camp.
plan?
Well, they wouldn't be the first team to do it.
It's true.
The Spurs were 4 years ahead of Victor Wembanyama. They worked on it for 4 years. They traded away DeMar DeRozan as soon as he started hooping for him. They traded away everyone. As soon as Kawhi left, they were like, okay, well then who's the next big thing?
Suns franchise record in
I
scoring.
would like to see Cooper Flag in a Blazers uniform. That would be pretty neat. I'm not going to lie. That would be pretty cool.
And if he averages 25 points per game, that's going to happen in game 46 for him.
Okay.
How about I did the math?
All right. I know you got it.
Yeah, somewhere here.
All the stats out.
I hope I'm close.
But we're going to be hearing from Bradley Beal.
Bradley
Tyus Jones,
Beal.
One thing that I'm thinking, we didn't show
Revenge Beal is what I'm calling it.
I'm here for it. I like it. Revenge Beal.
You wanted that as much
The
as I wanted a
Daredevil.
sleeper
He's going to get his revenge against Torrey Jones.
This picture of Durant going down the slide never gets old.
Just was he enjoying himself? I think that's the biggest
It's like, okay, here's my question to you. This is serious. What's better, that picture of Durant going down the slide or the picture of Jay-Z on the jet ski with looking bored as hell? Which one's better?
I'll go with the KD one just being a homer, What are we showing here?
On a new hype video, bro.
So are we going to get a jersey reveal today?
Who? Of the new jerseys?
Yeah.
That would be nice.
We witness the arrival of the dawn.
I'd really appreciate that.
It is here. It is there.
I think are they gonna play this before the new games this year? I feel like that's what this is. They always have that hype video. I feel like that's what this is.
Yeah.
Stare at your own risk.
Truth is, man, we're one of those teams that doesn't need alternate jerseys. Like, our Sunburst
Beal.
logo could be it every time. Just rotate the Sunburst. Give
Bradley
us a
Beal,
black
shut up.
Sunburst.
You had
Give
a
us
great
an
time.
orange
You went
Sunburst.
to a Florida Gators game. You had a cowboy party for your son, I believe. How was it getting that
This
family
is a real
time
man,
and
Tory
just kinda
Jones.
being
Real
in
man.
Arizona
Real man.
a
St.
little
Louis
bit more?
native.
Off-season was great. I love my family. They gave me a much-needed mental break from the season. But my kids are crazy, so I'm definitely happy that the season's coming back to start.
Bill just seems
but like
like
you said, it was an awesome off-season.
the grown man, and I don't mean that in a negative way. Like, he's got kids, he's married, so like he's definitely the grown man of the big
But I'm
three.
excited for the year. I had a great off-season. My body feels amazing. My mental feels even better. So I'm excited for what we can do.
You finished extremely strong last year, especially in the regular season. I went back on the last 5 games. You averaged 27
Not in the
points.
playoffs.
You
That
shot
was a
61%
debacle and
from
a
the
half.
field. You hit all 13 of your final free throws in the regular season. How is Coach Bud, your new head coach, going to help continue to activate that kind of production from you?
He's done it already since the day we brought him in, and he literally called me and was like, Brad, my mission is to get the Brad that I used to coach against in Milwaukee and in Atlanta. And I was like, I used to hate you then. So yeah, I can do that. But no, he was like, I want to activate that guy again. I want to get your energy back.
By the
on
way,
offensive
people, if
end.
you're just joining
Like, I
us,
know we
or
kinda
if you
had to
haven't,
wear a
hit
lot
that
of hats
like
last year, do a
button.
lot of
Okay,
things.
we're at 61, which is pretty good.
He wants to get me back.
I'd like to
into
get us to
being, an aggressive,
80 for this
offensive
Yeah,
minded
75,
guy.
something like that. Hit that like
But at
button.
the same time, I still have that mentality of being team first and being, whatever the team needs.
Metro,
obviously,
that's
is
definitely a
more important
goatee.
than
That's
what
definitely a
I
goatee.
may want or what the team thinks I may want. So
A clean
I wanna
goatee,
be
might I
the
add.
best version of me, and I think we can do that. Obviously, adding Tyus, adding Monte, bringing in some point guards. So now Book doesn't have to take on a handling role. I don't have to do it. Kay doesn't have to do it. Grayson doesn't have to do it. We can just be our natural selves.
What does that mean, though, to know that, what Coach Bud did say to you of just like he wants you to be the best out there and bringing that out of you?
It's a confidence booster for sure. It's very enlightening.
Metro, I think
Obviously,
I've
I'm
got-
a vet, so it's not like I need him to pat me on the
Yeah,
back. But
I
it's
need to
very
give out
encouraging,
10.
to
yeah.
come in and hear that.
Memby at
It
80
just speaks volumes of
likes.
his knowledge of the game.
It'll be
his
5
vision of where
memberships.
He sees us and how we can be successful, and it's motivating. It's definitely giving me a new spark and a new energy to come in and perform.
No, Dave. I think
you are a veteran, so you probably
the starting
have your
lineup will
summers
be
lined
Tyus
up as
Jones,
to
Beal,
what your
Booker,
workouts
Durant,
are
and
gonna
Nurk.
look like. Has that training
That's already-
changed at all, or did it
Coach
change
Bud
going
already
into
said
this
that.
season?
What's crazy? A lot of stuff changed this season, this off season.
He's the first guy off the floor?
Kind of routine.
Oh, okay. I
kinda
never. I
changed
misread
the
your question.
timing
Is he
of
the
it.
first
Usually I
guy
would
to
start
leave
early.
the floor?
I kind of started a little
Uh,
later, just to give my
That's a good
body
question.
that rest, give my mental that rest.
I think so.
Because we're so like, what's next? What's next? What's next? How can we get better? How can we get better? And that's great, but obviously as you get older, you want to kind of teeter down on the amount of miles you want to put on your body. So for me, it was a lot of mental, just kind of mindfulness, obviously, just being in the moment, being, in tune with myself. And then obviously when it came to the game, just being me, having fun. I think that was kind of being my biggest goal going into this year is I lost sight of that probably over the last like 2-3 years, right, of just having fun because I've been in different roles besides someone that I was used to, right? So I'm trying to please a lot of people. I'm trying to please teammates, and Brad's not happy, right? Brad's kind of trying to figure it out, and a lot of the processes on top of being injured just cause a lot of frustration. So for me, it's just getting back to having fun, getting back to that natural element of hoops that I love to be in.
Well, and I can feel that
Right.
too right
Yeah.
now. Just your approach, that mindfulness, what you're saying. So we're really excited to
Most
see
definitely.
that fun this season
Me
and
too.
heading into training camp tomorrow. So
It's all about the joy and
That's
enjoy, right?
That's it.
Yep.
That's it, man.
All right.
There's a lot of times last year we were just trying to make sure everybody's good, make sure we fit well, make sure we have success, and a lot of times we just didn't have fun. We just didn't enjoy being in the moment, and it's not like we're going out there like not trying to have fun.
'Cause
It's just,
expectations
we're
were
just
so
really trying
high.
to figure it out. We're trying to piece it together in real time, very fast, while trying to win. So it was very tough on us, but now we have a clean slate. We can hit this thing running, and I'm excited for what we can do.
Well, we're excited
Thanks,
too.
guys.
You are good, man. I could interview you anytime.
I know. I was
You're
gonna
just
say, I feel
honest,
like
and
we
you're
could-
you're
we
willing
could
to
go
put
for
it
an
out.
hour.
Yeah,
An
honest
talking
dude,
about
a
this.
grown man.
Appreciate
Awesome.
it.
Thank
Thanks,
you
Brad.
so much.
Yeah, people are saying he looks slim. Holy hell, he looks slim. He looks 10 pounds lighter than last year.
I think they all lost weight. I think that was probably the goal for Bud. I bet you anything, Frank wanted them to gain weight, so they did. Frank wanted them to be tough, and I think Bud's making them lose weight, slim down, and Nurk included. Says Sunday, do I spy wearing a Pepe shirt? No, this is a Frog and Toad shirt.
Oh, I was cracking up. The
Frog and Toad.
It's a Honkler shirt. Timothy says this season needs to start already. Dude, we're 6 days away from
preseason.
The
first game's next Sunday.
I mean, we'll be live streaming that game. Like it's so it's next Sunday?
Yes, sir. Or at least that's what I read.
Giggity.
Maybe it's Friday.
Giggity.
Maybe it's Friday. It's either the 4th or the 6th.
I think Sunday. I think it's Sunday. But if Bradley Beal stays healthy and gets to play his natural position,
over 6 against the Lakers,
bro. What if? And just hear me out. Are you sitting down?
I'm sitting down, sir. Voice on the podium.
What if what we thought we were going to get last year in a super team, we really do get this year? Is that a possibility?
I'd be happy with that. It's a possibility. I'd be happy.
How do you
with
feel
that.
about this pearl necklace? I'm not loving it.
Appreciate it.
I just want to get your
It's a little.
I'm not loving it. It's a little Caleb Williams.
Okay, I'm glad you said it, not me. But yes,
process and what ultimately
Royce.
It's a little Kyler Murray.
Definitely wanted to be here at the end of the season. Taking.
I'm not even gonna kiss his cheek, dude. Because now he's making it weird.
With the team, the agency, and everything. And it was just the best fit for me. I feel like after last year, we had a bad exit. And just running it back and adding more, this year and, being a part of something special that we have going on.
Royce Dwayne Rankin, Arizona Republic. I'm curious, with you now getting a full start to finish season with the group, what are you seeing with the guys that were brought in and then the guys that came back, and how you feel like this will all work out as a whole?
I know we added a lot of pieces, especially veterans, leadership,
King West
addressing
in
our
the
needs
house.
that we, had this summer. And I think, just the
Where's King
exciting
West?
part is having a new team, new coaches.
Oh, what up, King?
having that full
Man,
year.
here's the
here
deal.
briefly.
I don't have any interest in what Royce and Neil's talking about, if I'm being honest with you right now.
Because of these pearls.
Yeah, these pearls are really
I can't pay
distracting me.
attention. He might as well be up there with like a Joker mask paint on his face. It's too distracting.
In your experience in those roles, when you
But
don't know
I
how many
miss
minutes you're going to get, it'll be
the
20
people in the
35
chat. I
the
miss
other
doing
nights. How do
this.
you
I
stay
can't wait
within
for the
yourself
season to
and
start.
stay
You guys are
composed?
really actually part.
Just being who I
Just
am.
being for real. Minus Metro and
whether
Diego.
it's
You guys
5
are the
minutes,
reason we do
10,
this.
The whole game. However long I'm playing, that's, I'm going to bring that toughness, compete every moment. Whether I'm starting or coming off the bench, my mentality and everything don't change for me.
Hi, Royce. Great to see you. My name is Sam Valenti. I'm with C-Tray Sports.
If anyone has balls, they'll ask about the pearls.
For him, going from
Facts.
fast New York to here in Phoenix, not quite as fast paced.
Jeff S. Sundo, are you ready for all the election humor this year too? That's Gabe's job, not mine, sir.
What election?
To get accustomed to the surroundings in
What are you
Phoenix.
guys talking
What do you
about?
enjoy most about living here?
I'll say the weather. I'm glad
I didn't
that
even know there
I'm
was
not
an
going to be
election.
in any cold places anymore. And I think just everything, fans, being able to explore like restaurants, outdoor adventures.
His hairline's
it's a great
pretty
place
clean.
to be.
Super clean.
I started in Utah, then went to
Beard
Brooklyn.
line?
Beard's lined up really good too.
Did a whole whirlwind.
You know what I'm saying? Just get the pearl necklace off.
Hey, Royce, Brendan Clean with the Locked On Suns podcast. Just when you look back at that playoff series last year, obviously Grayson goes down and that kind of throws a wrench in things, but just what was your kind of impression thinking through during the summer of where you guys fell short and kind of what needs to improve next time you guys get that chance in the postseason?
I think just everybody staying healthy. I mean, of course, injuries are part of the game. And then I think just, when one person go down, it's the next mentality, next person up. So I think just, being prepared for those situations, especially having a whole year, is going to be great.
Jeremy says, "Are pearl necklaces on dudes a thing now?" I guess
so. I
so.
want to get your thoughts. What have your conversations with Coach Bud been like so far, and what impressions has he given you in terms of, we've heard wanting to get up more threes.
I think you're bugging, Swizzo.
You guys want to play in.
He look nothing like Kyrie.
Faster. Playing together as a team. I mean, we have a lot of guys who do a lot of different things. So I think just the position that he's going to put guys in to succeed is going to benefit the team.
I think I can see it. They could be cousins.
You know who he really looks like? And this is going to sound really crazy. If G-Baby, and what movie is that?
Who the fuck is G-Baby?
What's that movie, Hardball?
I don't know.
Okay, I got you.
But a real man's talking.
Gerald, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I see Books. I'm going to be quiet.
Hey, Book. Gerald Bourget, PHNX Sports. First off, congrats on another gold medal.
Thank you.
I just wanted to get your thoughts. I know that you and Al obviously developed a special relationship during your time here. Just wanted to get your thoughts on his passing and the relationship you were able to build.
Keep asking about McCoy.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I
Al
love
is
McCoy. Rest in peace.
The historian of this franchise. He was here from day one.
Can we stop asking about
grew super
McCoy?
close to over time. Somebody that I view as a really good friend of mine, and obviously tough for all of us. But he's embedded in this culture.
But anyway, the movie Hardball about
forever.
when Keanu Reeves
so
goes
it's
to
like
the
losing
hood and
family
coaches
member for
baseball. That movie.
All right, everyone, welcome back. We have Mason Plumlee joining us.
So they
on
cut
set.
off
Tom,
Book
do you want
to go to Plum Dog Millionaire.
Right.
You got to
So,
be kidding me.
Usually I'm saving it to the end, like who's the sleeper on this team. But I got to tell you, you are one of the sleepers.
Swapping from Book to Plumlee is
going to be excited to see play. And
diabolical,
not surprised, Mason,
bro.
Because
anyway, to
your
continue
older
my
brother Miles
thought,
was on this team.
Royce
We
O'Neal looks
know
like if
from a
G-Baby
human
would have
being
grew up,
standpoint-
that's Royce O'Neal. There, I said
I
it.
got to Google G-Baby. I would rather Google G-Baby than deal with what they're giving us right now. Like, this is like your mom hands you a plate full of syrupy pancakes, steaming, and then right before you go to take your first bite, she replaces it with half a grapefruit. What is this?
Particular was the draw with him as a coach and just his overall style.
Sure, it's interesting. I never really talked, even though I've been in the league for a long time, I never talked to him that much, but I think you just respect, he's won everywhere he's been, right? Atlanta, Milwaukee, like he's been a winner, and he seems to have a formula or a way to play that is successful where, if you give him enough time. So, I kind of considered that. Plus,
we also have Royce joining us as well. I was wondering how long that was going to take.
I guess you guys are bonding
right
already.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean those. And then I got to talk to him, and he just thought it would be.
G-Money says not the 8 and pearls.
I've loved your game ever since, like going back to Portland. I mean, obviously in Denver, we'll talk about you and Monte Morris as well. But just as a facilitator too, I mean, a playmaker. How do you see yourself and Nurk, who has some of those same qualities too? Great passing, big man, can play out high. How do you see the two of you working together in tandem for this team?
Yeah, well, I think it could be really good because there's so much shooting and scoring on the floor. And people say playmaker, but coach, he used the term.
Is Mason Plumlee the best Plumlee?
So like the screening, running.
I believe he was.
Player screens, handoffs, like just different ways to get all that, kind of unlock all that scoring that's already out there. And then
I know it's like a million Plumlees, bro.
While we both think that way, in a sense, I think it's interesting to have.
I feel like the only
he's a bigger bruiser,
you
like
have
bigger
to
body, and
ask Plumlee is, "Hey Mason Plumlee, you're not Drew Eubanks, are you?" And then he goes, "No, I'm Mason Plumlee." And you go, "That's all we needed to hear. Have a great season, pal."
Where did Eubanks end up at? Right? Was it the Rockets?
Utah.
The most
Utah.
and I
That's
don't
right.
want to
Well,
say even what you're trying
obviously
to prove,
it was
but
Utah.
when you join a new team, building that chemistry.
Yeah.
What's the key for doing that, and
kind of gelling quickly.
Yeah, I think,
Tori says love the,
in the
the
preseason, it's been
Eubanks.
so fun just to play
It's just the
pickup,
truth.
and you get a feel for like what your teammates.
Remember
can
whenever
do
you
and,
tried to
where
love
they're at, but
Eubanks?
I
just
gave
to
him
bring
a shot.
some structure to it. You know, the
Do you
coaches
remember
now
the
jump
day
in
that you
and
turned on
they
Eubanks?
give us a little, a little instruction and kind of how they see it. So I'm looking forward to learning that.
All right,
You know, I
last one,
think-
2013-14
I think,
season with Miles, who had just a
My turning on Eubanks, I think, was facilitated by my love for the gigantic beast that never got to play.
Who's not on the team
Probably his
anymore?
favorite year of the NBA. You know, he
That's what it
established
was.
himself as a player in that team. You know,
Oh, Junie, there's
I don't
none
think
there.
expectations were high at the start, and they played so well, and it was a really tough West that year. So he loved it here, and I think he'll tune into some games this year.
Is he still bouncing up and down on his unicycle?
Somewhere, yeah.
Somewhere. That was one of our favorite features that season.
Yeah,
Nice
yeah.
of him to do that.
Mrs.
And not to get
Sundo,
hurt.
what's
We would have
up?
all gotten in trouble.
Right,
It would
right.
have been terrible. Yeah.
That's fun.
Awesome, Mason. Thank you so
Thanks for
much. We
having me on.
appreciate the
Thanks,
time.
Mason.
Great to see you
Yeah,
as
great
always.
to have you here.
Thanks.
I bet he is, Jeremy,
that was
because he's a
before
good
your time,
rebounder
Amanda,
and
but-
strong dunker under the rim. So, yeah, he could probably clean up
Ride
a
a
lot.
unicycle, and we had him kind of bouncing up and down. Like he could actually go from ground level and bounce up onto a bench.
That's pretty incredible.
And yeah, so while we're taping that, we're like,
Miss Sundo
if
in
he
the house?
falls, we are
You're
in big
in trouble.
We're in big
Appreciate it,
trouble.
Jimmy.
It wasn't my idea if he fell. We're going to throw one of our producers under the bus on that one. As we are joined now by the new starting point guard of the Phoenix
Ooh,
Suns.
Tyus Jones.
How about that? How does that
Let's go.
sound?
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Let's hear
Tyus,
this.
great
I
to
will be
have
paying
you.
attention to
So
this one.
is a Phoenix Suns member. How's it been going for you so far?
It's been great. So far, so good. Excited to be here. First one in Phoenix, so I'm looking forward to it.
And I know those discussions happened right away as far as you being the starting point guard, but I find it really interesting and powerful, too, that Coach Bud has come out and said, this is my starting five. Let's go to training camp. Everybody knows their roles because they're like, oh, who's going to come off the bench? Who was starting last year? What did that mean for you, for Coach Bud to go, no, here are the keys, take off?
It's huge. It's huge as a point guard. Being comfortable is an important factor. You got to be an extension of coach out there on the court. So your guys' relationship, first and foremost, has to be on point. But yeah, it also, I think, what people aren't necessarily, maybe they're not realizing is we have so many different guys that can start, and so I think that speaks to the depth that we have on this roster, and it's a good problem to have. But yeah, just having that clarity, for myself, for guys with their roles, I think it's huge. And but at the end of the day, we're all here for one goal, and no matter who starts, who finishes games, how many shots you get, it's about winning at the end of the day, and that's what everyone's trying to do.
You had said during your introduction presser, what drew you to this team, relationships. I know Josh Bartelstein, that was something that he was really heavily involved in the high care factor.
Yeah.
You're also, joining your former teammate, Grayson Allen.
Yep.
How has the offseason been for you two, communication-wise, and getting set for tomorrow?
Yeah, it's been huge. Back with G, I'm excited about that. He played a huge part in recruiting me, honestly, just calling me. I came down here for a visit. You spend a lot of time with him, just talking through different stuff, with the team. He came out right away and said, look, I want you to come here and start. If that means me coming off the bench, don't worry about that.
Wow.
So, that just speaks to his character, and that's part of the guy and player he is. He's team first, always has been, always will be. But yeah, for me, it's exciting just because we have a great chemistry.
Yeah, he is, Jeremy.
On the court, off the court. That's my brother. Has been for 10+ years now. It's crazy to say. And I'm looking forward to sharing the court with him again.
Yo, that is crazy, Tim.
Because I know, we can be dynamic.
Do you get tired of hearing the assist to turnover stat, even though
Sundo
you
either has a
now
really
own
small
that
phone or
category?
some humongous hands,
my problem
or
is
you're just being
I've
weird.
been researching this since I did the game last year against Washington, and I think I had you at 6 seasons of leading it, and I thought now maybe you're at 7.
If only
And
I were
the
that
Forbes
lucky,
magazine,
Timothy.
They said 5 straight seasons.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's a new NBA record because
Yeah.
Chris Paul led in assist to turnover ratio 4 times. You've already beaten that. What does it mean for you to go into season and to have a reputation like that with a new team?
Yeah.
And also how important it is, because I think you even give so much credit to your mom.
Yeah.
Like how protecting her purse, I think, was something like you used as an analogy.
Yeah, it's for me as a point guard, it's just a point guard mindset. Not turning the ball
I think
over.
Tyus
It
is
goes
my
back
favorite
to,
player on the team,
honestly,
by the
my
way.
mom, continued to teach me the game when I was younger. As a point guard, just don't turn the ball over.
I
It's
will
something
allow
that
it for
have
you,
to
okay,
value,
sir?
value
I
each
will
possession.
allow it.
Yeah.
Typically the team with the least amount of turnovers wins the game, but they definitely have a higher chance of winning the game if
everybody,
you give, more shots, more possessions, things like that. So
who should I get
for
rid
me,
of
it's just
on
been
the
something that
banner
I
on
always
the
kind of
bottom?
prided myself
Bud
on, and setting
Grayson?
a record every year or however many seasons.
Because
in a
I
row
got
it's
to
been.
put
That's not,
Tyus down there.
the goal.
You get rid
per
of
se
Bud
for me,
and stop
but,
acting like that's a question.
I also do pride myself on not turning the ball
trying to
over
give
and
the
trying to make
people
sure we get quality looks.
the choice.
You get rid of
more often
Bud so you
than
get the
not,
starting five and our
whatever
presumed
numbers come with it,
sixth man
come
of the
with
year.
it. I try not to, it seems
And
as
Grayson,
whenever
so.
someone, gets a chance to tell
You're
me
welcome.
throughout the season, you have a stretch of this many games without a turnover or this many minutes.
But you gotta
I
get him in
always
a
have
Suns
one
jersey.
probably pretty soon in that next game. Just so it's something that I try not to pay attention to, but I just show up every night and try to, give our team the best chance of winning.
One number I do know is correct, because I actually back-checked this, was 66 games with the Wizards. Obviously, a young team, kind of loose at times, but you as the direct 66 games that you played, 66 turnovers. That's insane. That's just crazy.
It's
Anyway.
probably a few too many. Probably
Yeah,
a few
of
too
course.
many. I
Mom's
know
not happy
there's
with that.
there's some of those that I can watch back and
All
say,
Do you
gotta
think
be
he'd
better.
marry me?
Try to be.
Entering training camp tomorrow, and expectations are that you are running the point. What is the, I guess, keys for you learning your
I'm done with
teammates
this man,
and
Gabe.
kind of developing that chemistry quickly? I know you have already that relationship with Grayson Allen, but the other key guys as well.
Just spending time on and off the court with the guys, trying to study their games. Been here the last couple weeks, so being in the gym with them, just asking a bunch of questions. For me, I'm just
Diego,
trying
that's
to,
so much easier to do
ask
now,
Book,
too, if you
ask
think
Katie,
about
ask
it.
Brad, ask the rest of the guys, like, where they like the ball, what side of the floor they like to,
If you
be
wanted
on,
to.
which way, or, what are they looking for in this situation, stuff like that. So just trying to, pick their brains and just pay attention to everything, so it can make my job easier and so I can be better at my job. And also, we have so much talent that I'm going to be being a little bit different of a role as well. I'm doing some different things from a point guard standpoint that I might not have done a whole lot of, and that's good for me as well to continue to elevate my game and continue to help me grow as a player as well. So I'm looking forward to that, and just looking forward to continue to grow our chemistry. It takes time. It's not going to happen overnight, but the great thing about all of these guys is everyone's a basketball purist. They love basketball. They love the game. We're in the gym. We're talking about the game. We're talking about ways to get better. So, the chemistry will come.
Not only do the Suns have one point guard, they have two with Monte Morris.
Yeah.
What's that relationship like? Do you guys sit down with the playbook and kind of talk strategy and figure out how each of you are going to kind of play off of each other?
Yeah, me and Tay have known each other just from playing against each other the last few years, and looking forward to continuing to push each other to improve, get better. We have similar play styles, so that's also great. Just because we look at the game very similar, we approach the game very similar, and so yeah, we sit down, we talk about what each other might have seen on that last play or might be looking for, things like that, and we'll continue to do so throughout the year. And it's nice having another point guard on the team who approaches the game, like you do.
You've seen playbooks. How big is Bud's? Big, normal? Like,
How big is
Bud?
Bud?
Keep that in-house. I'll keep that in-house.
Yeah.
Awesome, Tyus. Well, great to see you again. We can't wait to have training camp start tomorrow. You're going to be
Yes.
seeing a lot of us at all the
For
practices.
sure.
So
That sounds great. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tyus.
Appreciate
it.
Are we gonna hear from Nurkic?
It is exciting, though, to have the 2-point guards. And
Thank
after
you.
the conversation that we had, thanks, Tyus, with Bradley Beal and Book and KD, I mean, you can just feel this kind of sense of relief. I mean, that this offense that Coach Bud is creating is in such good hands. Again, with Tyus and Monte Morris.
Once again, the question I asked you, the more I think about it in terms of having Tyus Jones, we might really see I think we're going to see a lot better team from the jump this season.
I think we're going to see a team with a traditional point guard again.
Not okay, but it's no. Okay, you're right. I'm not trying to say you're wrong. You are, but you're not going deep enough.
I'm not saying he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be point guard like Chris Paul good. But what I mean by that is like
no. I'm saying you're underselling it. You're saying he's a real point guard, but it's like that's what Monte Morris. That's how you those are the words you use to describe Monte Morris. He's a real point guard who does real point guard things. Period. With Tyus, he's a pure Chris Paul style facilitator who's no one's Chris Paul good.
Who will facilitate well, and we won't turn the
better
ball
than
over
well,
as much.
better than well. I'm talking above that. So there's above average, good, and great. I'm saying like betwixt good and great. You're going to get a combination of good and great from point guard.
I love it.
What killed us last season early?
Turnovers. Absolutely. But
This dude played 66 games last year and had 66 turnovers. I think we had 66 turnovers in like a 10-game period.
We were averaging 18 turnovers a game at the beginning of the season, bro.
So that's 180 in 10 games for that span.
Grayson Allen's next.
Good.
Have all week at training camp starting tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. It's great. We're going to be able to be there and at practices and be able to share that with all the fans. Great working
Timothy,
with you. That was a lot of
probably
fun.
how you could
so
describe
much.
it. I'm just trying to.
Oh, never mind. They're done.
See you guys tomorrow.
They're done.
All right.
Never mind.
I'm just trying to be very specific with my words because I don't want to undersell or oversell it. I want to get it exactly right. And I'm not trying to say he's the best, but he's so far more than just a regular point guard. He's more than that.
No, I get what you're saying, and I'm with it. I'm just saying, like, when you look at the way this team played last year, like, you can't help but just think the one thing, like, that's why I'm understanding it, because you can't help but think the one thing we needed was just somebody to not turn the ball over. Like, that was the one thing we could have used, we needed. And so that's why I'm underselling it. It's almost like it's a relief because I don't expect that to happen again. So that's what I mean by that. So yeah, that's why I'm underselling it, because it's like problem solved. That's why I'm underselling it. But you're right. It could be that much better for sure.
You know how we value Torrey's input because we know he knows what he's talking about, but also he's very critical of anything that deserves criticism. And that comes across as hating or whatever, but he's just trying to be honest from his point of view. Ask him what he thinks of Tyus Jones. Don't take me, like, I understand it's hard to take my word for it because I get excited about Aaron Holiday, so I get it.
Sir, I also got excited about Aaron Holiday.
But Torrey, you know, he loves Tyus Jones. Like, the people that scout players and pay attention to the full league and everything, like, they know, and not all of us do, and that's okay. No judgment. But we're gonna find out. I know just because I play enough 2K to see, to like be familiar with, like, God, this dude's always hurting me. Like, is he good? And then I'll pay more attention to him in games. It's like, wow. And then I said, wow, but he's a demon, bro. He's like going to the doctor and saying, hey, I'm feeling sick. And he's like, what's your symptoms? Well, I keep turning the ball over and I can't really spread the floor from the point guard position. He goes, you know what you need? Here's your medicine. Call me in the morning. You should feel better in the morning. It's gonna work that quick.
Let me ask you this, because I do agree that's what Tyus Jones is a remedy to the sickness that we had last year. But do you think, with the combination of everything that happened, getting Tyus Jones, getting 2 point guards that you're going to trust, having Grayson as a 6-man, having Royce as a backup, having the depth let me put that in quotations since everybody keeps saying that, don't talk ahead of yourself, but the depth that we have, do you think that offensive woes are going to continue like they did last year, where we would have a good first half and then the second half would just be completely abysmal?
Wait. They're showing Grey Goose.
You obviously became a full-time starter.
Are they showing Grey Goose?
Yeah.
By the last 3 years. So
She said they were done.
I know.
About that, because you started for him. So what was that like, and what was like maybe how you guys?
Maybe they
talked
are
about,
done.
or what were those conversations like?
But Phoenix Days.
Look how yoked he is.
I think he knew I would be good with it, so I
He's
gave him a
pretty
hard
yoked.
time, just jokingly. But it was there wasn't much of a conversation.
Dude, he does look bigger.
I think we're gonna have a great team with Tyus.
He
out
looks
there as the point
older
guard.
too. He looks more
I
Ted
know we had a
Cruz-y
lot of
than
talks
usual.
Last year about like, does this team need a point guard? And a lot of times I was kind of the guy who thought no, but there's not many guys out there like Tyus. Not a whole lot of point guards out there that play like Tyus. So I really think he is the perfect fit for our team. I think our team is better with him at the point. So I didn't give him a lot of pushback. It was a pretty quick conversation.
Grayson, Kellen Olsen, Arizona Sports, great to see you again. Have noticed you have bulked up, I guess, as the phrase goes. What was the intentionality behind that, just with basketball in mind specifically?
Yeah, I mean, each off-season I've put on a little bit of muscle. And this off-season I started lifting a little bit sooner than I have in the past. So
But will that lifting
a little bit of it was unintentional.
affect your shot, sir? It better not.
The goal for me ever since
it won't
4 years ago now, when I had my hip injury, was just continue to build strength, lower
Yeah, no
body,
kiss
have
for
a good
Grey Goose,
base.
Gabe.
And so a little bit for me, I've always felt good with a little bit more strength, a little bit more weight, a little bit more muscle. So I know I think my listed weight is still like 195.
I'll give him a double.
I'm nowhere close to that.
He deserves
it. Around 230. So we
That's
might
crazy,
need to
bro.
finally update that.
They should never gave us green screens.
Facts.
So a lot of just like game-to-game soreness, I feel like being stronger helps with that. Being able to guard bigger guys, being stronger helps with that. And then like I've had a lot of little injuries, hamstring injuries, hip injuries, all that throughout my career. And last season, like each year I've gotten stronger. I've played more games, played more minutes. Last year being 75 games, at I think over 30 minutes a game. So I just think having that base of strength has helped me a lot with durability throughout a season.
Grayson, Doug Haller at The Athletic. Good to see you. Earlier, Matt Ishbia was talking about how great a fit Coach Bud was for this team. You've been with him. Why do you think he's a good fit for this Suns team?
Well, he preaches a lot of threes, and I know that's something we want to get more up, and was a weak point of our team last year, and the attempts that we got up. We have a lot of great shooters. We just need to find ways to get more attempts up. I think his personality and coaching style fits the team really well. He's obviously a great coach, very experienced, a championship coach. So I think he's perfect for
Got
our
you
team,
a stinking
our
ring.
goals, and what we feel like we need to do.
Grayson, Richard Sines, Fox 10. Good to see you again. You kind of touched on the chemistry of this team, and you go out and kind of recruit Tyus, and Bradley Beal said it's going to help him. Just talk about the chemistry on this team and how you feel about this team moving forward. Coach talked about, guys were working out, you guys were kind of hooping up, already before this camp even starts.
Yeah, I mean, I think with our group, continuity just is going to help tremendously. Last season, a little tougher because of injuries for a team that was pretty new,
Stop yawning.
put together, to not be able to get those reps in. So having a year, a full season under our belt with some of the guys that were added last year, being able to work a few weeks before training camp, like last year, my first time stepping on the court in the practice facility was day one of training camp. So I think all that helps with our chemistry, the way we want to play offensively, the way we want to communicate defensively and cover for each other defensively. You have to have some sense of chemistry and togetherness, so time always helps with that.
Hey Grayson, Brendan Clean, Locked On Suns podcast. You mentioned right when you sat down you want to be an even better player this year. What other things, aside from the physical stuff you were talking about with Kellen, do you think you're going to be able to bring this year that we haven't seen before?
I've done a lot of screening and rolling in the preseason, which is a little new for me. But I think if kind of you look around the league, a lot of teams that are having success offensively kind of have positionless basketball. And I think that will help with a lot of our switching if matchup dependent guys setting screens, but not just setting screens to get the switch, but setting the screen to get an attack out of it, being a good screener, having angles, and then just continuing to improve offensively, like being a secondary playmaker. I know a lot of games, like once you start getting run off the three-point line, you have to be a decision maker in the paint. So last year I felt like I did a pretty good job. I need to be a part of cutting down on turnovers, so need to be a low turnover guy, very efficient guy, passing the ball or scoring the guy in the paint.
Grayson. Hey there, Bob Hune from Associated Press. Good to see you again. A lot of talk about the team shooting more threes. I'm thinking if there's anyone on this team that might be really happy about that, it would be you.
Yeah.
Will that change your game at all, though? Because what you seem to do is just take what's given to you. But now with the emphasis on more threes, will you try to just intentionally shoot more or just keep that mindset of just whatever happens within the game?
Yeah, it's a balance. Like I'd love to say like I want to get 9 threes up a game. It's really hard to do. And so I think there is a balance between like when you're on the court with Kev, Book, Brad, there's all these weapons around you. I could easily get out there and just have the mindset of getting a lot of threes up. But a lot of times there's a better shot on the floor, which is last year. I feel like I did a good job instead of forcing some of them getting into the paint. And most of the time, if you get into the paint, draw an extra defender, it ends up for a 3 for someone else. But I think everyone on the team, all the shooters on the team are definitely going to have a mindset of getting more up. So that might be earlier in the clock. It might be off the dribble and the pick and roll instead of, the bigs and drop coverage. Nurk's a great screener, finding those pocket threes, stuff like that. So, I hope that I get more up, but I hope us as a team, we're in the top 5 of attempts around the league.
Hey, Grayson, Shane Young with Forbes. I'm just curious, you're playing with Tyus at Duke and Memphis. In what ways do you see that he's going to be able to create advantages for you and then also the big three?
He's that guy that when you play with, you always have to be ready for the ball. He kicks it ahead early. He always makes the right, simple, easy play. He's a great passer, so he can make the tough passes too.
Shut up, Chloe!
Kind of underrated is his threat to be a scorer off the pick and roll, which is what allows him to be such a good passer.
Way to yell.
But you always got to be ready.
Mute your banana meter next time.
I tried.
He creates a lot of opportunities for the guys around him to play off of closeouts.
People are just listening to him talking up and said, "Shut up, Chloe!"
This is
in the microphone, loud as heck.
My bad. Creates opportunities for us to be ready to catch and shoot or be ready to play with a little bit of an advantage because you have a guy flying at you.
Okay, I didn't know.
You already got your question.
I need another one. Thank you, Your question about top 5 teams shooting threes, you made me get on the internet and look up. Boston led the league in 42.5. Milwaukee was 5th, 38.1.
Bro, his head looks tiny now.
Threes last year. Do you see that top 5 number you guys can reach? That would be 6 more threes, 6 to 8 more threes.
Yeah, it's one extra person in the top 6 players. It's not that crazy to think about.
All right. Thanks, Grayson.
Thanks, guys.
It says, is you using OBS? Yes, we are using Streamlabs OBS. Slobs.
Did you feel like from time to time, bro?
Yeah, they're showing all the player interviews is what they're doing right now.
All right.
Obviously, to get on the jersey, what's that going to mean?
We didn't get Book.
This season to have him basically with you from start to finish.
Yeah, means something to me. Means a lot to me. I heard rumblings of getting Shazam on there. I think that would have been iconic. But yeah, I think it's my job to further communicate to the guys that haven't been here, how important this patch is and how much it means to the city.
Talk. Win playoff games, please.
Was when you look at just the roster move.
Well, we can't fast forward to the playoffs.
Him being a point guard and you can get back to being off the ball. What's that going to mean for you and for the team as a whole?
Me and Tyus go back to 2014 draft class. So somebody that I've had a close relationship for a long time, and we can say it how it is. We got him for a steal. I remember the news being broke while we were at USA, and all the guys in the locker room was like, "Man, how did y'all get that done?" But something I'm super excited about. Obviously, not only everyone talks about the assist turnover ratio, but he's definitely not someone you can leave open either. So he's just a true ultimate winner, and I'm glad that, he's on a stage. Yeah, that's the name of the game. The quicker you can find that chemistry, and, it took us a little bit out in Paris, and, we were tested to the highest degree, but, I think our chemistry got us over the hump. We all believed all the way through, even down 13 to start the fourth quarter versus Serbia. We just stuck together,
All kinds of mistakes. My bad, y'all. I was just saying, when you're looking at him as a shooter, I don't want to say he's as good as Grayson, Tyus, but he's apparently as good as Booker and Beal. So, on 2K, they've got Booker with an 86-3. They've got Tyus with an 85. They got Grayson with a 93. And I think Durant a 92.
He's a hell of a golfer. We actually got
he's right up there on our team with being one of the best 3-point shooters.
Obviously seen a lot of him in the finals run.
I know that's according to 2K, but they're basing it on how he's been playing lately. So, you know what I mean?
I'm rallying behind him. What he says, that's always been my motto.
Book looking
slim,
but in a great way. In a great way. Look at them arms.
Doug Franz Unplugged podcast. Book. I know the first 2 questions were about Al, but I know how much it meant to him when you walked out of the locker room to watch him get inducted into the Ring of Honor. Do you mind opening up about a story of 18, 19-year-old Book talking to Al on a plane or on a bus and how he helped you become a professional?
Oh, yeah, we had plenty of those conversations.
Yes, sir, Feta.
And
you
my
already
question
know.
was him, man. What still drives you, man? How are you still on all these flights with us? How are you catching all these games? And just further understanding, the history of what he's done and, how the game has evolved. And, the only way to hear a basketball game or not even see it was to hear his voice. So that's why I say he's embedded in a lot of the people's lives here, and that's why it feels like a family member. That was the only source of Phoenix Suns basketball, and, to me still is.
Hey, Book. Dana Scott, Arizona Republic. Congratulations on the gold medal.
Thank you.
Two-part question about you entering year 10. Now that you're entering the second half of your career, do you talk with Kevin about how to prepare and basically managing your body in certain ways that players at that age have to do in entering the second half, even though you're very young still? And the second part of that is with having Oso and Ty on the team, there's two Phoenix natives. You called Ty a special talent a couple of years ago, and he was at your alma mater, Kentucky. So what's that like, having Arizona guys on the team to help impact this, the roster?
The first part of the question, I'd say I'm always a sponge. You'll see, guys all have their different type of ways to stay healthy. Katie is obviously somebody that
all this noise in my house, dude, is getting on my nerve.
We can't hear it, bro.
19.
Are you sure? Because my mic is peaking every time something goes on.
Anybody in the
He's just
chat
a
here in
hooper.
his house?
I think his love for the game is what keeps him going. And I've had plenty of guys around. Chris was a guy that, was over-obsessive about his body and taking care of his body.
This
So
child is going
I take bits
nuts.
and pieces
My wife's
from,
babysitting right now, so
everybody I'm around and just try to implement it. But, I still do feel really good. I feel I'm reaching those.
good. I'm glad y'all can't hear anything because it would be
body-wise.
y'all would be y'all call 911.
Next question was about Oso and Ty.
Girls just running around screaming.
I
It's
think
nuts.
That's not a normal situation to get drafted to your hometown team or be in the market of your hometown team. So they understand the importance of Phoenix Suns basketball, and I'm gonna do my job to be a leader and give them any bits and pieces that I've picked up along the way.
I don't have a dungeon.
Bob? Hey, Book. Bob Hune, Associated Press. First of all, going back to Al, one of the coolest pictures, and we talked about this, was with you and Al walking back. Do you remember, which one we talked about?
Mhm.
Do you have that picture? Do you get a copy of that?
I didn't get a copy of it, but social media makes it just save photo, and it's favorited also.
And what has to happen this year that didn't happen last year? What's the biggest difference this year for you guys to take the next step?
It's hard to narrow it down to one. I think we were trying to figure out and learn throughout, the whole season, including the postseason. So, just come in more prepared, come in more competitive. We just, we have to be on it. It's a tough league. It's a tough conference, and, we understand what we're going against, and, we feel like we have the talent. We feel like we have the coaching staff. We feel like we have, all the pieces to get to where we're trying to go.
Hey, Devin. Luis Torres here with Nice Kicks. After, a full season with the Book 1, a lot of fun colorways, a little PE going on right now.
Tell me more about more books.
What can we expect this upcoming season, and Book 2 in the works? What's that looking like?
Book 2 is definitely in the works, but a lot of more Book 1s this year.
Good.
I'm just going to continue to try to tell my story, man. I think, I've kept it consistent with every colorway that drops is, either been Phoenix inspired or Arizona inspired or, some type of story from my past. And, a lot of the Book 1s, especially with the PEs, have been colorways that you've seen before from the past. And that's just me paying homage, understanding, sneakers were super important to me growing up and definitely still are now. So paying homage to those colorways, those silhouettes that, have shaped the game and changed the sneaker culture forever.
Last one with the book, Annie.
Devin, Annie Myers, Drysdale Suns broadcast.
Where you at, Annie? There you go.
Can you talk a little bit about, the relationships? Talk about Kevin, and congratulations on the Olympics too. But
thank you.
Being that with Diana Taurasi and the relationship.
What
that
up,
you've had
young
with
hove?
Her 20 years and what she has done and impacted.
Young
you.
hove, bro.
Yeah, since day one.
It's good to see all the regulars back, man.
Diana
For
has
real,
the
for real,
energy
for
and the
real.
spirit, like she's ready to play
It's like
tomorrow,
one big
so,
happy family in the chat.
They say she's retiring.
Minus
I don't
that
know. I hope
bum
not.
romp.
Romp
because that has
says,
definitely been a staple
Ayo,
for me
Sundo,
throughout my whole
how
career.
comes yous ain't helping
Even the short
babysits?
conversations of
I
passing
don't
in the
help.
locker
I don't help
rooms,
watch white babies.
passing in the weight rooms. And, you know, obviously, like I said, being
There's your answer.
a historian of the game, understanding that she's paved the way for this whole next
I
generation
ain't going to
that's
jail.
coming up. And,
I ain't-
you know, she set the
I
bar
ain't
so
going to
high.
jail.
You know,
And we're
Stay far
back.
away.
Thanks, Book.
Yeah, appreciate it.
No, you're definitely a bum, Metro.
Questions for KD?
Hey, Kevin.
KD.
PHNX Sports.
All right, I'm gonna pee real quick.
Congrats on
BRB.
the gold medal.
All right.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. Congrats on the gold medal. I was just curious from your conversations with Mike Budenholzer, how have those gone? And
Hurry
what
up,
do
'cause
you
I gotta go
kind
to
of
the bathroom
anticipate when you
next.
Look forward to this season in terms of how you guys want to play.
Coach just getting to know each one of his players individually as people first, and once we all get on the court starting tomorrow, we kind of get a feel for each other on the floor.
Yeah, man. They start
but
training
Bud and
camp
the staff have
tomorrow.
been really
First
cool. They just
preseason
trying to
game will
get to know
be
one
Sunday.
another. I mean,
I'm
it's kinda
getting
hard to
pumped
figure out your
for
identity
real,
as a
dude.
team throughout the summer when you first
Just
get
want
a
to see what
job
these young
and
guys look like in
finding
the
your
preseason
staff
for
and
real. Like just to see if
trying to understand the players on your team.
Dunn has really improved
these
his
last
shot.
2 weeks of us getting some pickup games.
I want to see if
and
Bridges
being
looks
around each
good.
other,
So all that stuff
was key for us, and we got to understand one another, understand the coaching staff and what they want from us, and hopefully, now we can move forward with training camp and preseason games and kind of build out who we are.
Yes, Kevin, Dwayne Rankin, Arizona Republic. First, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Second, I'm curious when you look at the season in terms of what you guys brought in.
Young says KD brushed his hair. I mean, he brushed it and he got a fresh lineup.
How do you like those fits with the group? It's basically, essentially, pretty much all from last year. And then
Zero
how do you
hamburger
even
meat.
approach when you make
Absolutely.
an extension? How do you even do it mentally? Do you even just say, I'm gonna go play and whatever happens? How do you process all that?
Your first question is always good adding players to your team that are veterans with high IQ that can actually still provide good minutes for you. Tyus, Monte, Mason. We got a couple other guys, the rookies, the guys, Oso, Ryan, Jalen. We got guys that can come in and that can still provide us a good spark.
Let me
that
show
are
you my
different,
favorite
got
meme
different skill
that I-
sets. So
that
looking
I'm gonna
forward to
text it to
building
you.
with them.
This is my new
as far as
favorite meme
extension,
to send to people.
2 years out from, I got 2 years left on my contract. I'm focused on being the best that I can every day in the moment, and we'll figure that stuff out when it's time.
Katie, Richard Sines, Fox 10, good to see you again. Congrats on the gold.
Thank you.
You talked about, some of the new additions. Matt talked about
I
some of
sent-
these
I sent it
guys
to you in a text
with
message.
less money, could have got more money somewhere else. What does that say about the culture that you guys have kind of established here and about the individual person that's putting winning first?
Can't say that.
Yeah, you gotta give those guys the most credit for seeing past money and wanting to be in a situation where they can help build towards something special. Credit to the front office and the staff. For,
I can't say either, but man, that video is funny to
letting
me.
those guys know who we are, even though we didn't finish the season the way we wanted to. When you have a good front office and a good culture, you can still speak to guys regardless of that, and that's what they did throughout the summer. And also the city of Phoenix helped us out as well. So many players love coming here, love playing here, love being here. So that helps us out as well. So having new additions to the
Now,
team.
be honest with me,
is,
because I'm
is a
completely
blessing.
ignorant.
Now we're looking forward
Is
to seeing
Phoenix
how it
really
works on the
that
floor.
great of a city that it attracts players, or are they just kind of
It
overselling
is.
us on it?
It
Okay.
actually is.
Okay.
You would think it's this like desert wasteland,
Right.
But then you get there and there's mountains and palm trees and it's the opposite of Seattle in that it's an overabundance of vitamin D, so you feel fantastic and everyone's nice and in a good mood, and hot chicks walk up to you there and they're like, "Hi, my name's so and so. Have a good day." And you're like, "Why aren't you a bitch?" It's gorgeous, dude. And then like 7 months of the year, you're getting California weather.
Did that reinforce
The other 5
anything,
months,
getting back to the
you're in
grind
hell.
championship in the NBA?
I wouldn't say it reinforced
Thank you for
anything.
that
It was always
insight.
good to win and feel winning and understand what
You would be
winning, what
blown
goes into
away
it,
by
how
the
much of a grind it
beauty
is.
of
even though that was a condensed
Arizona.
period, it's just a
It doesn't
month.
make sense.
We crammed a lot of stuff in for that month, so it was good on the brain to understand what it takes every day to become a winner. Sometimes you can go through the motions a bit throughout your career when you haven't been on that podium sometimes. So it's good to refresh the brain a bit. But that's always the goal when you've been in this league so long and you have experience winning and being on top, that, you know, regardless of what happened last season, that's still always the goal. But being around some of the best players in the world of all time, and then some of the best athletes throughout the whole world and representing in my country was, you know, it was unmatched. So I had a great time.
Kevin, Doug Haller with The Athletic. You mentioned how things finished last year. When things don't go the way you like and you get swept, does that stick with you throughout an off season, motivate you? I mean, is it always there, or do you move past it pretty quickly?
Yeah, I mean, you tend to move past it. I mean, it's a long summer, man. You know, we lose in April. I'm not going to be thinking about it in June, July, you know. You figure out, you understand what went into the season and why the outcome was the outcome, and move on from there. Have it all that takes, to be honest, you know. So I try to figure that out pretty quickly and seeing how I can add to, you know, making things different and go from there.
Kevin, Luis Torres with Nice Kicks. Obviously, things got a little tense between you and Nike with the whole winning isn't for everyone campaign, and then, you know, am I a bad person? No, you're the baddest. Have you guys talked? How's everything? You know, KD 18 coming up. How's that looking?
Yeah, everything's on schedule, just like it always is. Sometimes you have conversations like that amongst family and move on.
Kevin, Dana Scott, Arizona Republic, congratulations on the gold medal. Boy.
Oh, my bad. Thank you.
Two-part questions. Thinking about how you had some rotation in the lineups in last season where you played sometimes with the second unit, how do you feel that if Grayson being possibly moved to the second unit and Bull coming back, how they can impact the team together?
Bull
And
in
also
that
the second
backup
part of that
lineup
is
too.
you grew
Don't
up in the
forget.
DC area,
Bobo and Grayson off the bench.
Kevin Mutombo just died this morning. So growing up around that
Threes for
Georgetown,
days.
second wave paranoia, you very young, you probably remember Iverson Moore, but what would you say about that Georgetown team in that area and what it did for the city?
Yeah, rest in peace to Dikembe Mutombo. Was a iconic figure in the basketball world as I was growing up. Like you mentioned, playing in Washington, D.C., Georgetown area, a lot of those
You didn't
big
know?
men
Yeah, he
had
died this
big
morning.
work on basketball in that area.
This morning was pronounced
dating
brain
back to
cancer. Did you know he had brain
the
cancer?
80s, early 90s. And Dikembe was one of those guys.
Yeah, I didn't know.
And then
No,
have an
no one knew
opportunity
apparently.
to play against him in the NBA and meet him in different events and just see the type of person he was. It reinforced that our great people walking around here every day, regardless of status, regardless of how successful you are, he still remained true to who he was as a person. And I appreciated that every time I seen him. My condolences out to his family, friends, everybody that knew him. That's a huge loss. If you ever met Dikembe, he just brightened up the whole room. So, and I wasn't even that tight with him.
Not in my house.
So I'm sure so many people going
Love
through
those
a lot of
commercials.
emotions
You had the
now.
original
he
Cookie
meant so much to
Monster
the game.
voice.
And
Yep.
rest in peace.
Those commercials, that was like, what was about 10 years ago?
Congratulations
Where he was
on
just
your
swatting everything in the grocery
Olympic
store.
Thank you.
medal and leading the USA in scoring. But, you know, you were there for more than half of Diana Taurasi's 6 times
I
at
was.
Olympics. And talk about the impact she had on you as an Olympian and then her work ethic here in Phoenix.
Yeah, DT has done so much.
I'm sorry that I can't
basketball as a
feign
whole.
interest
You know,
in
we
Diana
remember- I
Taurasi.
remember her
I'm
as a
sorry.
high
I'm
school,
sorry.
middle school
What do you want me to do?
player,
Keep
her
apologizing?
setting a
I don't care.
example for
I
basketball
don't
in
care.
the women's game.
Do you care?
Introducing some players.
Liar!
Some people
Not
too
about
in this
Diana
game when she was
Taurasi, but
coming out
I
of
do care
UConn.
about Caitlin Clark
To be one
and
franchise
Sophie
home
Cunningham.
Caitlin Clark isn't Diana Taurasi.
I know, but you know what I'm saying.
Did she play 20 years?
I do care about Sophie Cunningham and
championships, gold
Caitlin
medals,
Clark
done it all,
and
still DT
Angel Reese
that I
and Cameron
met
Brink.
15 years ago. So I appreciate what she's brought to the game of basketball, this area in Phoenix and the whole Arizona. And I think she still got some time left. I think she got a couple more years to play. But we'll see. Even if she doesn't, she can walk away with her head held high for what she's done to the game.
Thanks, Kevin. We'll have Bradley Beal up right now.
I guess they're going to give us the Beal deal pretty soon here. You got anything on... I think you're muted. Bucko.
Maybe that's it. What's that girl? Oh, Alyssa Peely. Love Alyssa Peely. WNBA. GOAT.
Now, you love their on-court skills.
Yes, all of these players for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, it's over.
It's
Media
over.
day is over.
Well, welcome in anybody just joining. Media day has just finished. And let's finish talking about it, if you don't mind. Marty says Beal's going to go off this year. I hope and pray. Because let's be very honest, he had the worst exit to the playoffs he could have possibly had. I am embarrassed for him. I don't like his name being stained the way it was.
Bradley Beal?
Yeah. Think back to the last time we saw him on the court. He got used and abused by AE.
The entire team got used.
No.
I'm not trying to hear that. And here's the deal. Here's the funny part, bro. I have flushed it that I don't even remember.
Bro, remember he got like 3 fouls in a row. Got dicked down 3 fouls in a row. They had to pull him and he was on the bench like damn near crying.
Don't remember because it's all repressed memories. I just know we lost.
After saying, and quote, I'll be damned if I'm getting swept. So he was damned. You know, it ended awfully for him.
Like I told you, those are all repressed memories in the back of my brain. Don't remember. But regardless, yes, I mean,
you certainly
forget
are
that.
Repressed.
Forget that.
Hey, we got 75 likes. It's time to give out 5 free membies.
Will you put them up? But forget that aspect of it. I just want Beal to have a redemption season, period. Because the last season for Beal was not good overall. It was not good for the team overall, but especially for Bradley Beal. Starting off with the injuries, and then just he had a few games where he was the hero late in the season to get us out of the play-in, right?
Are you sure?
But other than that, he didn't necessarily have the greatest season. So,
okay,
all around, I'd like for him to have a redemption season.
I feel better about his regular season than I do about his playoff performance.
Well, here's a real jerkish thing to say. How often has Bro been in the playoffs in a serious?
Right, but he's always been trapped on
Ruben
that team.
gets the membership. Marty gets the membership.
No Metro.
Timothy gets the membership.
No Metro.
Diego and Jeremy all got the membership.
Let's go.
It's kind of crazy because they've all been chatting the most recently besides Metro. Metro, you probably don't even have your stuff on.
If we get to 100 likes, I'll give out the other 5 memberships.
I don't think we're getting to that.
But
But anyway, but seriously, back to Beal.
Whoa.
Back to Beal. We're back to Beal on this playoff.
Just
talk.
hold your horses while we give them their horsemen.
Oh my gosh, we're still doing the horsemen. Horsemen.
Why isn't it playing?
Horsemen. Exactly, because you broke it.
There we go. God forbid I break the horseman. It's broken. So that one horseman is going to have to hold y'all over, all right?
All right.
Or no. We could give him a couple manual horsemen.
No, you can give him the horseman.
You give 2, I'll give 2. That makes 5. That makes 5.
I'll go force.
All right.
Horseman. Your turn.
Horseman.
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 All right, now we're done.
Okay. Sorry, go on.
Idiots. Got me acting a fool on the internet. But Beal didn't have a good playoffs, and so yeah, sure, I'd like for him to have a good redemption arc for himself and for the fan base here in Phoenix. Next thing I take away from this is that KD is business as usual after the Olympics. So I expect KD to have a solid season. I'm not going to say a great, I say solid, because I do expect that with the coaching and the team around him that everybody else is going to step the game up and he won't have to play 40 minutes a game like he did last season. Like, let's just hope that that's not a thing.
But what if he just wants to play that much and Bud's okay with it? The way that Frank was okay with it.
I don't think Frank was okay with it. I think they just needed him to because of injury issues. Yeah, I just think it's just because of injury issues, bro.
And we were down in games, and games were so close.
Right. So I think, and it's going to be tough. I think you'll see. I think in the beginning of the season, you're going to see a lot of the big three because of the way that schedule just is at the beginning of the season. So I think in the beginning of the season, you're going to see a lot of the big three. You're going to see a lot of the main vets in the rotation. And then as we get out of that span of awful, toughest schedule, legitimately the toughest schedule in NBA in the first, 6 weeks, we will then start to see some of the younger players get in the rotation and get some bigger roles. But so, yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of the big three in the beginning, and then they'll get a little bit of rest as the season progresses, as the schedule gets a little lighter.
I'm a little disappointed, man, that we didn't get to hear from any of the rookies. What's that about? Are they just like, guys, it'll take too long if we get everybody interviewed?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. And also, like, you just don't want to get them distracted. They already had their media days during the draft, right? Like, after the draft, they had their media days, but we really haven't heard from anybody else on the team all offseason long. Like, we've gotten sound bites on podcasts. We've gotten sound bites from the Olympics, but we haven't had a Suns media interview from any of these players since the finals and the exit interviews. And so I think that's what the thinking was. You've already heard from the rookies after the draft. Time to move on. Get your vets in there. Get your KD's, Books, Beals, Grayson's, O'Neal. No Nurk.
Yeah, where's
that was surprising.
Nurky? No Nurk daddy. And guess we did get Tyus. No Bol. What the hell, man?
I'm going to be honest with you. The last thing I want is a Bol interview, so I'm fine with that. The last thing I want is Bol and his
don't say it.
His
don't say it.
Cute smiles. I'll just say that much. Just sitting there on the screen. I don't need that, right? Zesty Bol I don't need, right? Ruben says. So we're good there.
People would want you to bust out Zesta.
Jeremy says Nurk spoke though. Well, he wasn't on the media day on the stream, so
Nurk was there, but they didn't show the interview. Okay.
All right, cool. Well, that's decent.
That's weird. That's not.
But anyway,
weird.
so I mean,
how do you think he's gonna feel about that? Because he is the type of guy that gets a little bit bent out of shape.
Who, Nurk?
Yeah. You don't think he's gonna be upset?
Much about nothing. Whatever. It's not a big of a deal. Play better, and maybe you be in the interviews. That's all I'll say about that.
Y'all got me dressed up and doing interviews. You're not even gonna show it. All right.
Play better. You'll get on there. So how are we covering this week of because we're basically in training camp and practices, and how are we going to cover this week before the preseason game?
Well, I say we allow for, maybe a storyline or two I can think of a storyline right now. We could do a video on, and we can, okay, Jeremy's saying Bol was interviewed. Well, I'll have to look for that. And then we can talk about training camp storylines as they pop up.
Okay, that works.
And then we'll be doing live streams full time starting Sunday. We're going to be on
I'm excited for that, man. I'm excited to be back. The beginning of the season is going to be rough for me. I'm going to get lots of little sleep. I'm going to do my best to be on these live streams the whole game.
A lot of
Can't
DNPs.
promise, but there's going to be a lot of energy drinks that have to be consumed I'm going to try to do my best to be on every stream, the full stream. But as soon as the game's over, my ass is going to bed. I ain't doing no post-game stuff. Y'all can suck it. Tell you that right now.
Okay, so maybe I could be bringing in guests for the post-game shows.
Probably, maybe, possibly. I might stay. It just depends.
We'll get Charles Barkley in here. Wait,
the
Charles
early
Barkley,
schedule,
he'd swing on me. Go ahead.
That's true. Because we discussed it. Like, all those games in the beginning of the season are going to be West Coast games. So it's just going to be rough. Like, whoo, buddy. Let me see here. Yeah, so like the first actual game was against the Clippers at 9 p.m. our time on the 23rd.
Mug says, will Kaminsky make the cut? The only problem I have with it, is that would mean that they're not giving a contract right away to Jalen Bridges. And I just think Jalen Bridges is worth. But Jalen Bridges is not a 7-footer that can shoot the three. And we don't have anyone like Frank on the roster other than Bol Bol, but we've already proven you can't run Bol Bol at the 5. But Frankie, you can run at the 5. Allegedly. Hopefully.
I think you might be able to run Bol Bol at the 5.
No,
I think
come on.
You might be able to. I'm not saying you do. I'm saying you might be able to if we have a coach that's smart enough to think about it.
You know what? I got an idea.
Oh, they're playing small ball? Okay, let's put Bol in at the 5. It'll work out for playing small ball.
No, because, he just doesn't weigh enough, unfortunately.
If they're going small ball, the other team? I'm talking about the other team, not us. If you're playing another team that decides to go small, you can afford to put Bol at the 5 if you really wanted to at that point. That's what I'm saying. And you'll have a coach to think about that. You won't have a coach that's like, well, I got to roll Drew Eubanks out there and he's going to get cooked. I gotta roll Azubike out there. He's gonna get cooked. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of times where they played freaking KD at the 5, and it worked out because they were going small ball. Imagine leaving KD out of the 5 and not taking all those shots and those body blows and doing all that rough stuff, and you have Bol Bol down there doing it. Just saying. I think there will be a lot more thought into these things versus last season, where it was just like, we're going to rely on our stars and play them 42 minutes a game, and so be it. And they're going to be tired by the time we get to the playoffs.
Right.
Young Huff says, got that premium league pass locked and loaded like usual. I'm loving the new price.
That's good.
Well,
hopefully you'll be able to sign in with us over on
sign in with us on Playback, bro. For real, yeah.
Sign
in on Playback. Speaking of Playback, I can't wait to get back on Playback.
Seriously.
Playback was the greatest.
Yeah.
By the way, do we have any emails from them about
they emailed us, and they're like, I feel like it's a email that's like auto sent. It's like, hey, we noticed you haven't been streaming here in a while. Is there any reason? It's like, there's nothing to stream. What are you talking about? But I tell you what, Sundo, got an idea here.
Ooh.
Normally we're like, hey, pump up the views, get more front runners in here, but we got a loyal 62. These are the 62.
These are the loyal,
most loyal. So why not give these guys the Membies?
Go for it. Hit them with the Membies,
no
bro.
Reason.
Hit them with the Membies. They're the loyal ones. I see the usual suspects in here. Hit them with the Membies. Hit them with the Membies.
But the situation,
I'll even root for East Metro this time.
No, that's the thing. That's the only thing holding me back. We don't want Metro getting one because
God, just do it.
He gets too emboldened.
I mean, it's whatever. Just do it. Who cares?
Oh God, help us.
I'll just block him myself.
Perfect.
From my personal account.
Perfect. Let's see here. And I was saying in the chat, I'll have new emojis for the first game. I'll have some new ones put in there.
All right, let's hit the Memby button. Let's see what 5 get them. Hopefully we can get the 5 that get them.
No Metro.
Here we go.
Diego, I got one.
Fitta, Mug, Joe Mama.
And yeah, there we go. Woo! No Metro. Well.
Oh, wait a minute.
I can't help it, Metro. It ain't on me. It's all given out at
Poor
random.
Metro doesn't get a Mimby.
You know, poor little baby boy Metro.
Look what you did to Metro, bro. Why would you do that to him, man?
Hey, I mean, it's not me. That's God's will.
You said God's will.
All right, that's God's plan.
God's will is crazy. God's plan. God's plan. You know,
you ain't getting no Memby. What was I gonna? Let's just see if.
Hold on.
Horsemen. It will only horseman one time.
Here we go. Rome with the gifted Nimby.
Welcome, Rome.
I tried, Metro. I really tried for you, bro.
You tried,
but that was God's plan. God's plan.
All right, so
hey, can I be our new thing now?
Oh yeah, it's one of our new things. Anything we like, we spam to death for an entire season.
God's plan.
So you might as well,
plan, bro.
So I want to get us an intro.
Yes, sir.
You're against the "I'm Not Gay No More" song being mixed in.
Because it was, I'm very much against that. Caesar
wins from Hove. Thank you, Young Hove.
Horseman. Appreciate you with the Mimby. Caesar got it. And once again, Metro, God's plan. God's plan. And get those.
Man, remember when it was Burner that was always striking out?
Well, Burner ain't been here. When Lou says, "Can I be gifted?" It's random. We cannot just pick people. So
totes random.
You know, so we just trying. You know. Here. I'll do one more.
You're gonna try one more.
I'm gonna try one more.
Cross your fingers, Metro, and cross your toes.
Actually, how do you turn on the gift? Because maybe his gifting's not. I think you got to turn on your ability.
I think he's had it on because he's won before.
Win lose.
He's won before.
All right, we're gifting the Mimby. Hold on a second, people. We'll see if this is in God's plan. Here we go. One more.
TJ. God's plan.
God's plan. God's plan.
All right. Horsemen. Got a lot of new horsemen. Listen,
God did.
This is gonna be a hell of a season, man.
It's a new thing.
I can't wait.
So as long as Metro win lose, we gonna hope you get one. But Metro don't get one. We just gonna keep going with the God's plan. That should be our notification, bro.
What do you think about for like the live streams? We do it like this with our green screens,
yes.
But behind us is like the scoreboard.
Yeah, do that. And then also, you know, when we were on playback, you got to take the stuff from the playback to do it too. So,
no, because
you do. Remember, you took my webcam from playback last time.
Yeah, but we won't do that. Playback's just not going to get cameras. Sorry, we can't use our green screens over there.
Yes, you can.
Can we?
You can use your green screen for how you do it, and then you just take my webcam.
But over there, they won't see nothing but our.
Yeah,
green
but who cares
screens.
about over there? We're talking about here.
True that.
No green screen over there. Now, maybe if they have their own green screen function over there, I don't know if they do. You can do it that way too. Like if they have their own little green screen function in playback, but I don't know if that's the case. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. But they don't need to see no green screen on playback.
We got to read this out. James McMillan, I highly doubt you're still in here watching, but he sent this earlier. And it's his member message for 13 months. He says, "What's up, guys? Super excited for the Suns season. Let's go Suns. How are you guys doing? Suns all the way this year."
Yes, sir. James McMillan.
Thank you, James, man. Sorry we were preoccupied.
He was preoccupied listening.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, once you come up with a video idea, let me know. I got to go to a staff meeting at my other job now.
All right, man. Well, thanks everybody for coming and hanging out. Sundo's going to sing us away.
Hey, it's been a minute. East Metro says new job. No, I still work at my old job, but I have another job, so I work 2 jobs basically. But anyway, Suns winning a day. Because this guy's playing. Yeah.